of Royal Palm Beach Special Magistrate hearing for Wednesday, June 13th, 2018. As I like to say, if you have a code enforcement issue, you are in the right place. My name's Doug McGibbon. I'm the Special Magistrate. The first thing we're going to do is swear everyone in for the first time. We will have strays walk in the door later because people don't show up on time, so they'll get sworn in later. So first group, everyone raise your right hand, say I do when we're done. Does everyone swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Say I do. Okay. Most of the hearings we're going to hear today are either fine assessment hearings or violation hearings. The process will be as follows. The village will call your name. You will go up to that podium over there. The village will present certain documentation into evidence and show it to you. You will get to object or not to the evidence. They will put on their case, and then you get to respond. When it's all over, I get to make a decision. That switches when we get to the fine reduction hearings. Those people have been through the process and had a fine assessment hearing and a violation hearing. They're asking for relief, so they will go first. There are not a lot of those on the agenda tonight. And that's pretty much it. Take it away.
Sure thing. Amity Barnard, Assistant Village Attorney. Starting on the agenda, fine assessment hearings, page 1, case 18-0043, 110 La Mancha Avenue, Yang Gerlach and Hong Wang.
Okay.
Go to the podium, ma'am. Thank you.
Gail McLean, Code Enforcement Inspector for the Village of Royal Palm Beach. I'd like to enter evidence the previous order, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. All right, it was mailed to Canada. So you have service.
My name is Yang Gerlach.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the prior order finding violation. That order. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from the property appraiser website. And Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violation, the repeat violation. Do you have any objections to these documents?
No.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, admitted without objection.
The permit has been submitted.
Yep, you can
Okay.
speak to the magistrate now.
Okay.
All right, so you have a new looking fence in the pictures and you don't have a permit in your system, is that correct?
The permit has been applied for. Lou's checking it to see if it has been issued at this
Oh,
point.
okay. It is in the system now.
Now,
It wasn't before.
correct.
It is printed, yes.
Okay, so it is printed, so she has a permit?
Nobody's picked it up yet, but it's printed.
Well, she knows
Do you
now
know
to
what
pick
date it
up.
was printed?
The 11th.
All right, so 2 days ago.
So it was printed 2 days ago, so that would be Department of 275 and
Okay.
Okay.
Hear from respondent.
All right, Ms. Gerlach, what is your response to their complaint here?
We're so sorry because the first letter we did not receive, and for the notice of violation we did not receive, and the fence was built after hurricane last year. It's not rebuilt. It's like the failed front of the fence during the hurricane was failed. So, and we hired a licensed roofing, the fencing company, installed the one at the original place. Because they failed, we put a new one, and it has existed fence there, but it's broken. And so we replaced. So at that time, because we authorized the fencing company to do, I did not know they have to put a new permit. And then once we received the letter, in May, we immediately enforced the fencing company do it again. So we submitted all the material and the survey and paid them, and so they said they already applied for the permit before the May 30th.
Okay. This is a very common problem in the village.
Yeah.
A lot of people lost their fences after
Yeah,
the
last year
hurricane.
it was existing and it's not a new
But-
fence, but
but-
now we know.
Let me change the situation. If this was a water heater
Yeah.
and your water heater broke, and you already had a water heater, but you were putting in a new water heater, do you think you would have to get a new permit?
I usually will hire contractors.
Right, well, I understand the
do it.
contractor
You
messed
need
this
a
up.
new permit. We just signed the
Right,
permit.
and I can tell you,
So sorry.
a lot of the people who did fences in the village and in other places didn't care and didn't bother.
Oh,
They were just looking at piles of money and they just put up fences and they collected money.
yeah,
And
sorry.
normally when they would go out
Yeah,
in normal times, they would apply
Yeah.
for a permit and they would get inspections. They wouldn't
Yeah.
care. It's all just part of the price they would pass on to you.
right.
But
So
back to
now
my
we learned, yeah.
water, heater analogy. When your fence comes down and it's
Mm-hmm.
broken and you replace it with a new fence, that means a new permit.
Yeah,
When I built my fence, the village standard was you had to put 4x4s 8 feet apart. And I put them 6 feet apart, so I was better than the village. After I put up my fence, the village came out with a new rule because all those fences blew down in Francis, Jeannie, and those storms. And they now say your 4x4s have to be 4 feet apart. So your old fence might have been not conforming. So you have to get a permit, and your
thank you.
contractor should have gotten a
permit.
permit. I see you do have one now.
Yes.
But it was probably not in time.
It wasn't brought in until the 30th.
And I saw you asking when the permit was printed, so you could see when the fine would stop, I assume. So when would
Correct.
that be?
So the permit was printed on 6/11, so the fine amount would be for 10 days from 6/1 to 6/10. So we'd be asking for a fine in the amount of $250 and not continuing.
Okay. Because you didn't apply and receive the permit within the time requested by the village in the order finding violation, you are in violation, so you were 10 days out, which is at $25 a day, $250. And there's really nothing I can do because you are in the system. Thank you for doing that, but you weren't in time, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we
grant.
tried our best. We immediately contact, once we receive the notice, we contact the fencing company as quickly as possible.
Right?
So,
and-
and we paid them to pull the permit. We paid them $300.
Well, I understand, and they should have done this in the
Yeah.
first place, and
Okay.
they're the ones who probably should have done it months
I
ago.
know. So now we know, they are
So
not.
maybe you have a complaint against the fencing company, but the village gets its $250 order.
Can you reduce half of them?
I can't reduce an order until it's been signed, and we have to go through a separate hearing for that. Sorry, it's just the way the system works.
Thank you, ma'am.
There's nothing to reduce right now.
Moving on
So
to,
when the fine has to be paid?
Anytime after the order's signed.
So,
The orders, I usually sign them on Monday. You'll probably get them sometime next week.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Moving to page 2, near the middle of the page, 17-1618, 10198 Yeoman Lane, Winfield and Julie A. Trowbridge.
Dina Foley, Code Officer for the Village of Royal Palm. We would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order granting continuance and setting fine assessment hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. All right, you have a signed green card, you have service.
Leanne Jerena.
Marcel Jerena.
Thank you. These are what's your relation to the property?
We're the new owners.
Okay. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the previous order granting continuance with the signed green card. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership. And Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violation.
Yeah, that proof of ownership is no longer, that's the previous one.
Okay,
This is-
we'll get them in. That's
Okay.
as of whatever date this was printed. So let's first ask if you have any objection to these documents, and then we can look at what.
All right, admitted without objection. They need to give us their names again for the record
Oh,
because
I'm sorry, so
they are not the Towbridges.
100.
They are a different name. They're the new owners.
They're actually not here.
Oh, so this is a different one?
Yeah, this is, who's here for 10198? Anybody? They're here for 100.
90,
90.
Yeoman Lane.
Oh, well, they're not this one then. The Towbridges signed in? Anyone?
Okay, so I guess be seated. This is not
Okay.
you.
I'm sorry.
What case is this?
This 17-1618? No? Okay,
Yeah, 17-1618 is the one we're on, but they
Okay.
are not here for that case.
Yeah.
so there,
So no one's here for 10198 Yeoman?
nope,
Okay.
okay.
So we'll move on.
Next, new number 2.
Staying on the same page, 18-0087, 10173 Mikado Lane, Jose Luis Valdez.
We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Okay, we're going to have a finding of fact or a fine.
We're going to ask for no fine.
Well, in that case, show some people some documents and send them on their way.
Jose Luis Valdez.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. First one is the affidavit of service, along with the order finding violation. Oh, page 2, stuck. Proof of ownership from the property appraiser website is exhibit 2. And exhibit 3, affidavit of compliance. Exhibit 4, pictures. Do you have any objection to these documents?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Order of no fine is granted.
The work was done. I
No,
repaired.
no, they're saying you did it. They don't want a fine. It's all good. You're taken care of. You don't have to say a word. Is that good?
Okay, perfect.
But here's something for the audience. When you get a violation order from me, there's very few parts of that order that are in bold. And the one part that you do need to pay attention to that says, when you fix this, you need to call the code enforcement people to have them inspected. Because obviously he called the people, they inspected it, they found it was fine. It may have been out a day or two, they asked for no fine, got no fine, he followed instructions. So thank you very much for actually reading.
Thank you.
Gracias por todo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I did my PSA.
Next, moving to page 3, 18-0151, 1386 Denlow Lane, Diana M. Gant.
Excuse me. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, permit information.
Okay, you have an affidavit of service, so you have service via posting. You can proceed.
Can you state your name for the record?
Diane Gant.
Your
Thank
buddy?
you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to
Is it
enter
your
into
buddy?
evidence. Exhibit 1 is affidavit of service.
Okay.
Previous order finding violation.
That was on my door.
Correct, and that's the affidavit of service here showing that it was posted to your property.
Gotcha.
Page 2 of the order. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from the property appraiser website. Exhibit 3 is the permit information from the village. Do you have any objection to these documents? Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So, as in almost all these permit cases, you applied for a permit, the permit was issued, and it was never closed out or extended? Is that pretty much our case here?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
She applied for a permit, she got it issued, but it was never extended or closed, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have
Ma'am,
anything? Go ahead, ma'am.
did you
I had
ever build the
inspection.
patio? Oh,
Yes, we had an inspection on the footer, and I thought that was it. My bad. My bad. I did not know.
So,
I hired a screen guy to come in and do that, and he took all my paperwork, my money, everything left. I thought I was done with the patio, the slab. But I did get the permit on the screen, and I've already had that finalized.
okay.
She did a separate permit for the screen.
She did a separate, okay, so we had a patio, which was basically a slab then?
And I had the footer inspected. I did not know
So
that was
your
in
footer
there.
was inspected and that passed?
Yes.
And then she was probably supposed to have the rest of it constructed, but it didn't happen on that permit, so she got a separate permit?
No, when they do like a patio, after they have the footer inspection, they need to have a final to make sure that they didn't go bigger on it. So they have to have a final on that. She didn't have the final on the patio,
Oh, okay, and then she got the screen one
on a
and
separate permit.
on a
No.
separate permit. Okay, so what do you want to do?
It remains out of compliance, so it's been out for 13 days, so we'd be asking for a fine of $325 and continuing.
What's the status of the slab permit? It just needs to be reissued?
She needs to do
She needs to do an owner or renewal?
And get it closed out.
Yeah, see, here I'm kind of stuck in this position right now. If we would have come here before it was a violation, I would have given you more time to get the permit reissued.
I'm sorry.
And
My
right
bad.
now, and you're going to come back with your story at a later date to try to get a reduction here because you sort of got most of it done, but you didn't get it all done, so we'll have to see. I'm going to have to grant the 325 plus continuing, but once you pull the permit and extend it, the fines will stop, and then you can come in for a reduction. So get it in as fast as you can. So you can do this as an owner builder. So.
Was it owner builder?
So yeah, just go, now, was it originally an owner builder? So she can just apply for a renewal? Is that faster than applying for a new permit, or?
Yeah, that's what she has to do.
Okay, so you have to apply for a renewal, and then the fines will stop, and then we'll talk about them later, okay?
Thank you.
325 plus continuing is granted. Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Staying on the same page, 18-0275, 225 Sam Cooper Avenue, Robert and Nora H. Romero Jr. And he needs to be sworn in. Yeah.
okay.
Code Enforcement Inspector Margaret Hancock for the Village of Royal Palm Beach.
Go ahead.
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, sir, you are,
Robert Romero.
were you sworn in, sir?
No, it was not.
All right, we have to swear you in.
Okay, do you mind if I use my left hand?
You can use whatever hand I guess you want. Please raise a hand. And anyone else who hasn't been sworn, does everyone swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
They do. We got another stray over there. Okay.
The other one's not crossed.
All right, you have an affidavit of service, so you have service and you can proceed.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is affidavit of service,
Yes.
showing that this order finding violation was posted to your property. Second page of the order. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from the property appraiser website. Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violations.
And what it looks like now?
Here's photos from 612.
Most of that's brushed from the top, and I got pictures here that,
Okay, we'll get to your
Okay.
pictures, so let's get through these. Do you have any objection to these documents?
no.
Sure.
All right,
Thank you.
admitted without objection.
Speak to the matter.
Okay.
All right, so that was the state of the world on the 13th. Is that correct?
Pardon?
The pictures?
They're from 612.
Yes,
the
okay.
village's most
From
recent
from the
pictures.
12th, okay.
Correct.
All right, and do you have anything more you want to put into evidence? Any testimony?
No.
Nope, you're good. All right, Mr. Romero, you have some documents you wish to show or some pictures?
Yeah, I got some pictures here. Do you want them?
Oh, please, I can't.
Yeah,
All right, and what date are these pictures?
today.
Okay, good. I'm just doing this so you have a record.
Yeah, I took some pictures today. Now, it wasn't yesterday, it was the Tuesday pickup last week. That I said that June was when I was gonna able to have some young people available, because they were finished with school, so I had a couple of nephew teenagers. And outside of the damage they did a lot of work to bring some of that stuff to the front. And my older son has cut a lot of that stuff away. You notice that I got some bottle of stuff from Home Depot where it decomposes the stump. Cut it as low as you can. Stick actually 4 holes into them from the top and from the side, and pour that stuff into it. And somewhere within a month, I think it's gonna be broken enough to where you can bust up the stump.
All right, does the village have any objection to Defendant's Composite Exhibit 1?
No.
All right.
And we'd actually be willing to grant the respondent additional time.
That sounds good to me as well.
So we-
Defendant's number 1 is admitted and will be placed in the file.
Thank
When do you
you.
want to move this to? A month or so?
Yeah, comply by August 6th or appear at the August 8th
8/6,
fine assessment hearing.
8/8, or 25?
Yes, sir.
All right, and we're going to call it status fine?
Yes, sir,
slash-
status/fine, yes.
Your fine efforts of moving this project along have earned you another month to finish up more of it, so see what you can get done, keep in contact with the
Okay.
Code Enforcement Division. They will see whether or not we can continue bumping it as long as things keep getting done.
Yeah, he's been working on it slow but sure,
That's fine. I'd rather have slow but sure than ignored.
definitely.
So, and I think that's probably the village's position as well. So keep plugging away, get your son out there, keep him moving.
If there were more than half of me, I'd have it done by now. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Moving now to page 4, repeat violation hearings, case 18-0750, 363 La Mancha Avenue, Milton, Arlington.
Now I go Home Depot and buy some bolts. The bolts are falling off.
This is a repeat violation for the code section 2318B2, restricted trailer not screened from view. I observed this violation on 4/19/2018, mailed the notice of violation and notice of hearing certified, and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance, and Exhibit 5, pictures.
Okay, I'm always happy to hear an affidavit of compliance. Could have used that trailer. All right, you have service, you can proceed. Ma'am, I don't want to be presumptuous, but you don't look like a Milton to me.
No, that's my dad. He's in Connecticut.
All right, your name is?
Charlotte Earlington.
Charlotte. Okay.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. I'm going to show them to you, and
Okay.
at the end ask if you have any objection. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the notice of repeat violation, notice of hearing, both right here. Exhibit 2 is the previous order finding violation. Exhibit 3 is affidavit of compliance. Exhibit 4, proof of ownership from property appraiser website. And Exhibit 5 is pictures of the violation. Do you have any objection to these documents?
No.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, admitted without objection. Anything more from the village?
No, sir.
All right. Ms. Earlington, why was the restricted trailer not screened?
Well, I wanted to know, I didn't see the dates, I'm sorry, because there were 2 different tenants. One moved out and one just moved in, so I don't know.
Yeah, there were 2 different trailers there. The
So-
previous trailer was an enclosed trailer. That was the first violation. This is an open trailer.
Yeah, your first
Same
tenant.
code, though.
Yeah, your first tenant got you in trouble with an enclosed trailer. Was it a restricted or a prohibited?
Restricted.
So it was it was an allowed trailer, but it had to be screened. So your first tenant got you in trouble for that, which makes you subject to being a repeat violator if it happens anytime within the next 5 years. That's a restricted trailer on your property that's not screened. And now your second tenant has bounced in there and put a different trailer in an unscreened place, but he's fixed it. Is that
Right, the
correct?
trailer was out there from 4/19 until 5/22, when your dad called me.
Okay.
Okay, so it was about a month before they actually took it seriously enough to put their trailer behind the gate.
Right, my dad didn't know.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you have rental properties, you almost need security cameras pointed backwards at you, almost, just to check on them, but, all right, so we're talking how many days?
34 days at $25 a day, so we'd be asking for a fine in the amount of $850 and not continuing.
Okay. Unfortunately, your client is, or your tenant is sticking you with a problem that you fixed, but it didn't get fixed in time, and it's,
Is there any way to have the violation sent to my dad in Connecticut if there's a
It
problem?
goes to him.
He
Yeah.
said he didn't get it.
Well, it goes to him.
See, the thing is, they are required, they being the village, are required to send the complaints or the notices to the address listed on the tax collector's roll. Because they figure, or the legislature figured, that if you were paying your taxes, you were getting mail at that address. So according to the tax collector's roll, the notice address is what?
It's Hartford, Connecticut address.
So the notices are being mailed to him pursuant to state statute. I don't know what happened to the mail in Hartford. They mail these things out certified.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if he didn't sign for them, he didn't get it. But they are sent out certified, and they're returned, and then they're posted on the property. And I don't know whether the tenants call you or not. I mean, yeah. So, the $850 is granted. Really, nothing I can do.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
All right.
ma'am. Next thing on the same page, 18-0902, 196 Cordoba Circle, Michael J. and Israel Stovall Huggins.
The code section is 2316. This is a repeat violation for parking on the village easement. I observed this violation on 5/11/18, got the green card back signed on 5/15/18. Like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 3, picture.
All right, you have a signed green card. You have service.
State your name for the record, sir.
Michael Huggins.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing, notice of violation, and the signed green card.
Mm-hmm.
Exhibit 2 is just the previous order finding violation.
What? Mm-hmm.
Page 2 of the order. Exhibit 3 is proof of ownership from the tax collector website. Exhibit 4 is photograph of the violation. Do you
Okay.
have any objection to these documents?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, what's your objection?
My objection is I don't know what photograph that is.
Okay. Gail, can you explain what this photograph is?
It's parked across from your property.
Okay.
Any other objection?
That vehicle is not registered in my name. I don't know. That's not my vehicle.
Okay.
All right, admitted over objection. You'll have to testify about the ownership, or at least the vehicle. Is that vehicle usually
I
parked?
wouldn't know who owns it, but I know that whenever vehicles are parked there in front of your house, they're at your house. And I know that you
I understand what
know.
you. This is what I'm saying. I understand everything that you maybe want to say, Gail. I know you and you know me. We spoke and I told you that vehicle. It's okay, but I said that vehicle is not registered to me. It is not my vehicle, and that's all that I could say. It's not my vehicle, and it's not registered to me. I'm not.
All right,
trying
so
to defend anyone.
whose vehicle is it?
I don't know, Your Honor.
You don't know whose Jeep that is?
I just said I didn't know.
Okay, so somebody's parking their Jeep across the street from your house and just leaving it there.
Everyone parks across the street when they randomly, different vehicles, not across the street from my house, all along the easement.
Well, I understand. I have a Jeep. I love parking it in the grass.
It is
It's
not my
much
Jeep.
cooler in the grass. I understand you've also testified it's not your Jeep and it's not registered to you. So I'm kind of at a quandary here.
He's correct that when somebody parks over there, everybody parks over there, and I explained to you that day I spoke to you,
Yeah.
that whenever anybody does that, everybody does it, and so you
We're on
had
the
a
same
previous
page, Gail. I don't mean to-
violation, right?
We are
Right.
everything that you're saying is factual. Everything I'm saying is factual. It is not my vehicle, and I have 3 cars registered in my name, and they all have veteran license plates on them. Legal veteran license plates on them. Marine Corps plates. I have enough room in my yard to park my vehicles. At times, maybe I may park across the street for a second just to switch in and out, but that violation is not mine. And it's not.
Okay. Can you put that Jeep at his property at any other times or
I
dates?
guess probably the best thing is let's continue it to the next month's hearing. We also need some evidence from him suggesting what he's testified to, that that's not his Jeep. And we don't have the case file for the previous order, but we'll need to pull back the old pictures. And
Okay.
so let's reset this, if we could continue it to the next month's hearing.
Why
which
would we
is-
want to reset something that I have nothing to do with? Whether you just, this part, I'm concerned right now, you're wasting my time, and you want to waste some more?
Okay,
It's not my vehicle, and you have no proof that it's my vehicle. What else is to follow up on, or what else, where are we going?
I guess I
Trying to
would,
entrap me somewhere?
No, sir. The
No?
village's position is you've been found in violation of this in the past. Do you have evidence with you tonight showing that that's not your vehicle?
It's not registered to me.
Do you have evidence
It's
suggesting?
hard, it's really hard to prove a negative.
If he
I
says he
mean,
has
it's-
3 cars and he brings his 3 vehicle
Well,
registrations. and
he's
none of
already,
them are
but
Jeep.
he's testified that he has 3 cars
Yes.
that are registered to him
A
with veteran.
Cadillac, a Jeep, and a dually, not that Jeep, a green Cherokee Jeep.
Well, that's not a real Jeep, but okay.
Excuse me?
I'm a CJ5 owner. I have a Willys Jeep. A Cherokee is not a real Jeep.
Yeah, right.
That's a
toy.
Jeep
That's a toy.
Wagoneer that got
You don't know
pumped
about
up
Jeeps.
through the years.
You
It's a
tell me
station
about Jeeps.
wagon.
They call me the Jeep man. You know?
Well,
Anyway,
so-
Your Honor, I find this as wasting my time.
well, no, I'm kind of
No,
leaning, I'm kind of
I'm
leaning your
here.
way because
What else? What am I?
they-
What else you want me to
they're
say?
really, I
Trying to entrap
think
me.
the,
That's what it is
well,
now.
well, you are actually not helping yourself by going on, so you
But,
may
Your
want to
Honor,
stop
Your Honor,
there.
but what else could I say? It's not my
Actually, you
vehicle.
are not helping yourself by going on, so you might as well stop there.
I stopped.
Good. I mean, I had a judge tell me a long time ago when I was young, when you're winning an argument, you leave the room. You know, you don't stick around and let people have opportunities to nag at you or change the verdict. So here's what I have. I have a guy who's testifying it's not his vehicle. It's just a random vehicle parked across the street. And unless I can tie that vehicle to that property somehow, I don't have anything I can use.
Okay, so we'll leave it to your discretion.
So I'm just going to find no violation at this time. If it happens again, you'll know to take pictures of the tag and see if you can run them to do something with it. But at this point in time, I've got testimony that it's not his, and I can't tie it to the property. If your code enforcement officer said, I've seen that Jeep parked at his house, then I would be happy to, go along. But at this moment, with this evidence, I'm just going to find no violation at this time. Okay. All right.
Sir,
Thank you. Have a good day.
moving next to page 5, violation hearings, 18-0524, 290 La Mancha Avenue, Rolene S. and Robinson Rosim.
The code sections are 14.4A, 2316, and 6190A. Disabled, unregistered vehicles, parking on the swale not facing with the flow of traffic, and driveway and sidewalk are stayed. I observed this violation on 3/15/18, mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing, and got the green card signed on 3/17. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, picture.
All right, you have a signed green card. You have service.
Robinson was me.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is a notice of hearing, notice of violation, signed green card. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from the tax collector website, property appraiser website, excuse me. Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violations. Do you have any objection to these documents?
Yes. For this vehicle, it's my vehicle, but the only one thing I did, I went to the office and I explained.
Okay, hold on.
it to
Before we
them.
get there, explain to the magistrate what your objection to the documents is.
No, the problem is I moved that car.
Okay,
I'm-
that's not an objection to the documents. The documents are admitted. You can explain
You can
it
explain it now, yeah.
when they're done, but that's, objecting to it would be, it's not my house, it's not my car,
Oh,
it's the wrong, day. That's it. You're just going to explain whatever's the problem here, so.
okay.
It's the F-150. Is that the unregistered one?
Everything is in compliance at this point in time. He called me on 5/18, and I explained to him because of the nature of the violations, disabled unregistered vehicles, not parking to code, that it was going to go for a finding of fact. That way, if you bring back vehicles that are unregistered to your property, it could be a fine assessed from the day that I see it.
Okay, well, that's fair. I mean, so he fixed it, but it wasn't done in time? Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay,
So we're
so it was
just
repaired, it wasn't repaired in time. but you're not seeking any fine, you're just seeking a finding of fact. So it sets it up as a potential reoccurring violation if it happens again. So keep your vehicles registered. If 5 years passes and nothing happens, you get to start over again. Okay, but for the next 5 years, you're subject to a repeat violation. So keep them all parked in the right direction and keep them tagged. I love that 150. I had it for years, but someone destroyed it by driving into the back of it. So, all right, finding fact is granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving to page 6, case 18-0622-187 Salcedo Street, Patricia L. Banks.
The code section is 14.4A, disabled unregistered vehicle. I observed this violation on 3/28, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing, got the green card back, signed on 3/30. Like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, you have a somewhat signed green card. I guess that passes as a signature legally. You have service, you can proceed. You, sir, are?
Michael Banks.
You didn't look like a Patricia to me.
In your relation to Patricia?
I'm her son.
Thank you, sir. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing, the notice of violation, and the signed green card.
May I see the notice of hearing again?
Sure.
I've seen that. A second.
Notice of violation.
That's supposed to be signed?
No,
No. Okay. And what is the green card?
that's the certified mail that comes back to the village.
That's what I said was
Signed from,
interestingly signed. It's sort of scrawled.
All right.
Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from the property appraiser website.
Yeah, it's
Just showing ownership. of
my
the
mother,
property,
yeah.
Correct. And Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violation.
correct.
Do you have any objection to these documents?
No.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right, admitted without objection. So we have a, what kind of vehicle is this? I really didn't see a lot of pictures. of it.
1988 Chevy 1500 pickup truck.
Okay. Chevys are okay, I guess. It's from a Ford guy. All right, so it's a Chevy 1500, which is the smaller Chevy truck.
Yeah.
It's looks like it's
Just
not
a
been
little bit bigger
registered.
than an S10.
It hasn't been registered since 2015.
Right.
It either needs to be registered and insured. It either needs to be. It could be placed inside the garage,
Yeah.
or it needs to be removed
It's
from the
insured.
property.
I did get it up and running. I just have to get the registration completed, and that's.
Oh, well, that's stand in line for a couple hours over at the.
Actually, I
center.
have an appointment Friday.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I thought about it.
You get there early. Early, I mean like 8:30, and you'll be out like in 2 hours. So, okay, so this is going to be,
We're asking for compliance
That's
by
fine.
7/26, or the 8/8 hearing, or a $25 a day fine.
all right, so
And then who
you
do
have
I
until,
contact?
you have until July 26th to get that thing with a new sticker.
No problem.
The order that your mother will get will have the little highlighted, well, actually bolded part that says call them, and it's just call code enforcement.
Okay.
And as soon as you have the sticker, they'll happily come by
Sure.
and give what everyone who's in the violation section wants, which is an affidavit of compliance.
Yeah,
Okay?
Not a
Great.
problem.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Staying on the same page at the bottom, 18-0878, 160 Royal Pine Circle, Andrew Joseph and Deborah S. Manzo.
The code sections are 2318B1, 2316, 14.4A, and 1557. Disabled unregistered vehicle, prohibited vehicle, parking on the street and not moving every 24 hours, and high grass and weeds. I observed this violation on 5/3/18, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing, and posted them on the property. Like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. All right, you have service via posting. You can proceed. Sir, your name?
Andrew Manzo.
you. These are the exhibit that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is affidavit of service for the notice of hearing and the notice of violation. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from the property appraiser website. And Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violations. Do you have any objection to these documents?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
All right, admitted without objection. All right, so the prohibited vehicle parked on road, disabled unregistered vehicle, is that all the trailer?
The trailer.
Okay.
We spoke today, and I told him that he was in compliance. However, if any of those things come back, it will be a repeat.
Okay, so I get to do a finding of fact on this because it wasn't done in time, I take it?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. All right, so you heard the finding of fact speech before. You just can't do this for the next 5 years. That trailer's a tad big for the village's normal use.
That's fine. It's not going to be there anymore.
Yeah, I own 3 cars. You could probably get 2 of them on there easy.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
an
nice
equipment.
trailer.
Yeah, it's an equipment trailer.
I know, it's like, it'll probably take a small bulldozer or something. So
Yes.
you'll get an order in the mail, just don't bring it back.
No problem.
Great, okay.
Thank you,
You're
sir.
good.
Thank you for having somebody come out, Gail. Thank you.
Moving now to page 7, near the bottom, 18-0663, 300 Crestwood Circle, Kensington of Royal Palm Beach Condominium Association, Inc.
Still a lot
Code
of people left.
section is 2632,
Still a lot of people left.
2635, 2640, and 2-75. The driveway access closed requires a site plan modification. I observed this on 4/4/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 4/5/18 and were posted. I'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures. No, not on this one. I just did it on the other one. They are in compliance. I didn't do the affidavit of compliance on this one.
Okay, well, you'll file one later, I assume. Well, actually, yeah, there's an affidavit of compliance in here.
How is it? I just didn't put it on the sheet.
Ah, so you already done it. It's all good. Okay. Service via posting is service.
Can you state your name for the record, sir?
Larry Cortez. I'm the attorney for Kensington at Royal Palm Beach Condominium Association.
I haven't seen you since your wedding.
Well, no, I've been back here before.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen you since your wedding, and then the last time you came back here before. Tell Claire hi.
I will.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Affidavit, Exhibit 1 is affidavit of service.
Perfect.
Mailing for the notice of hearing and the notice of violation. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from property appraiser website. Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violation. And Exhibit 4 is affidavit of compliance. Do you have any objection to these documents?
No.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So you can take the man out of the military, but you can't get rid of the haircut.
No, you cannot.
Okay. Finding a fact on this one?
Yes, sir.
Granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Said a lot. All right. Have a good evening.
All right, you too. And Claire says hello as well.
Okay.
Oh, he's leaving.
It's on page 9.
Larry, is he done?
No, we have
He has
another
another
case.
case.
We have another case. Ah, you're on page 9 as well.
It's also going to be a finding of fact.
Thank God you're here for both of them. Okay, let's skip to page 9 and make
Skipping
this
to page
10A.
9, second one down, 18-0817, 300 Crestwood Circle, Kensington of Royal Palm Beach Condominium Association, Inc.
10A. It's also a finding of fact.
Yeah, but we need to
Go
get
through
her
your
stuff on the
stuff.
record, please. Thank you.
Code section is 11-3, gate remote access is denied. I observed this on 4/19/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out 4/23/18 and were posted. Would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
All right, he did a fantastic job again, and he's getting a finding of fact. You're not objecting to any of this, are you?
Well, this one I'm not aware of. I
Well,
think it
no,
might
this
be
one
the
makes
same
your billing
thing.
look better because you've got 2 separate case numbers.
Exactly.
Name again for the record, sir.
Larry Cortez on behalf of the property owner.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is affidavit of service for the notice of hearing notice of violation. It's for gate remote access denied, is what it's written as. Exhibit 2, proof of ownership from property appraiser website. Exhibit 3 is affidavit of compliance. Any objection to these documents?
No.
All right, so you were violating the 20th section of the code, now you're doing the 11th. You're all good. Finding of fact is granted.
Thank
Now
you.
you can really leave.
Are
Take
there any
care.
others here I can bill for?
Unless they need an attorney.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, next.
Okay, moving back to page 8, about halfway down, 18-0736, 100 Cape Ivy Point, Nautica Lakes HOA, Inc.
Okay, number 11.
Thank you.
This is for the HOA, this is for the resident. I don't know if I told you,
No.
but she's a complainant on this one. She wanted to alter the site, and then that was for the HOA.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Code section 15-143, 15-141, 15-72, 15-71, 15-126, 2-20, 2-75, 06-190A1, 17-96191. Excuse me. Landscape not maintained, trees, hedges, plants are dead or missing, trees cut down without a permit and were not replaced. Tree stumps left in planting areas, landscape does not meet the current landscape plan, the edging along the fence and at the playground is in disrepair. There are tree stumps in the playground area. We would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. And Exhibit 4, a letter from one of the residents.
Excuse me.
And while you're reading that, Special Magistrate, the village has a copy of that letter for the respondent.
Sure.
This is Exhibit 4, just so you can read it before I come over here again.
Okay. You have a signed green card in there somewhere. You have service.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You got a copy of this for me?
That is your copy.
Wonderful, thank you.
Do you have, can you state your name for the record before we?
Yes, ma'am. Michael McCarthy, I'm the property manager with Davenport Property Management for Nautica Lakes Homeowners
All right,
Association.
Mr. McCarthy, spell your last name, please.
So sorry. MCCARTHY.
And your first name is Michael?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Prop manager.
These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1, there's the signed green card, should be on the top. The notice of hearing, notice of violation, and the signed green card. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from the property appraiser website. Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violations. And Exhibit 4 is the letter that I just provided to you from a resident. Do you have any
Yeah, no
objection?
objections, no.
Thank you, sir.
All right, admitted without objection. All right, so what are the problems here? We have playgrounds with issues, and we have landscaping that's not meeting their site plan.
Yeah.
Is that pretty much it?
Well, there's a second case for the playground equipment, but this one is just as
All right.
far as on the sides and stuff, but.
All right, we'll just do this one first, and then we'll do that one next.
Okay.
So, all right. Anything further into evidence?
No, sir.
Ms. McCarthy, you care to respond?
My only response would really be to, as defending for the association, we have made all proper contacts to have the work done. Unfortunately, when you deal with contractors and that, it's just taking more time than we had anticipated. So just merely asking for some more time to have these things done. Again, it takes a lot of surveys, different bids and that from landscape companies.
Now, where are you in
more
that process? Have you started it? Have you gotten?
Absolutely. I have all documentation. I have letters and that from the companies, if you need to see them. And I have pictures as well.
Okay, so they're working towards it?
They are. He's already met with Kevin Irwin in the office.
Okay, I'm just checking. All right, so you're going to give them some more time because it's a
Correct.
bigger ship to turn than just a single-family
We-
home.
Right, we'd be asking for compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 hearing, or $25 a day fine.
All right, and what will they need to get into compliance? Pulling the permits to replace these, or just replacing them?
No, they do need permits to replace the trees because of the HOA. And
So if they pull the permit, then will they be in compliance? Then they will have that 6-month period to install. I'm just asking to, just make sure that everyone's on the same page on this, because if it, requires more, then I'm going to give them more time, so.
we may need to give them more time only because they were cited for the missing trees and removing trees without the permit. So they would still, the trees that are missing would have to be replaced in order to bring the order into compliance.
So, yeah, then we're probably talking about, because if it's one thing to get a permit, then replace it.
Right.
It's another thing to have to replace it and then get permits for other things. So we're probably looking another month or so down the road.
Yeah, so we could do compliance by 9/3 or the 9/12 hearing.
9/3, 9/12, 25. Did a wonderful job of buying you
That
some
would
more
be-
time.
That would be great, yeah.
Great, okay, we have another one of these?
Yes.
What page?
Page 10,
All right, page
second one
10.
down. 18-0911-100 Cape Ivy Point, Nautical Lakes HOA, Inc.
All right, so that's 11.
Code section 06190A1 and 6191, playground equipment is in disrepair. This is a safety issue. I observed this on 5/12/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing went out 5/14/18 and was signed for on 5/15/18. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. Once again, signed green card equals service. You're gonna just have to give me a little narrative on what's wrong with playground equipment. It just looks like a picture of playground equipment to me. So what's wrong with it?
There actually, there's only one piece left. They removed the other 3 that were on the outside of the playground. So I think that he has to order it, but they did put yellow caution tape around it, but it's missing handles, it's missing the head, so
Okay, so good. Okay, good. You've given me the clarity.
Can you state your name again for the record?
Michael McCarthy.
Thank you. These again are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of hearing, notice of violation, the signed green card. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from property appraiser website. And Exhibit 3 is a photograph of the violation. Any objection to these documents?
No objection.
Thank you.
All right, so tell us what's happening with the playground safety equipment or a safety issue. It seems like you're doing things.
Yes, Mr. McGivern, yeah, same. I have all documentation proving that we have the parts on order. Unfortunately, the company is overseas, so I just got today, another email today from our associates that do the playground repairs for the company.
And then you've got the tape around it to keep people off of it.
yeah,
and
there was
things
that
like
one particular item. I have some pictures if you would want to see.
As long as they're backing you up, I really don't need double evidence. It's fine. Okay, so are we going to do
And
this
that
on the
shouldn't-
same
sorry.
lines? Just to keep it consistent?
Yeah, that's fine. So
939, well, was it 9?
9/3 or 9/12 fine assessment. hearing.
9/3, 9/12, 25? Good. Okay. Granted. Fix it.
Thank you,
Have
sir.
fun.
Thank you, good evening.
Okay.
Thank
Next.
you.
Thank you,
Moving
Christina.
back
We'll
to,
be in touch. Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Moving back to page 8, near the bottom, 18-079-11314 Ryan Lane, Camilla A. Forias and Viviana A. Jimenez.
Code Section 9-1, fence installed without a permit. I observed this on 4/2018. The notice of violation with notice of hearing were mailed out on 4/2018 and were posted. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. You have service via posting. You can proceed.
State your names for the record, please.
Yes, Camilo Borrez.
Viviana Jimenez.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is affidavit of service for the notice of hearing and the notice of violation. This is the notice of hearing, notice of violation. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from the property appraiser website. And Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violation. They're out of order. This was from
That
4/20.
fence right there? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, the same from 6/12. Any objection to these documents?
Yes, we did not install that fence.
All right, that's not an objection to the document.
It's
That's
not?
something else.
Oh,
You'll
okay.
get there though.
Okay.
All right, so no fence permit was installed and there's a fence there.
Right.
Okay, it's simple from their side. Now your side gets to explain why.
We purchased the home on the 31st day of January. And when was that? Is there a date on when it was replaced or installed?
It really doesn't need to be specifically dated. It just needs to be on your property
Mm-hmm.
without a permit to show that that fence was ever permitted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my fence, you'll look back, there's a permit from like 8 or 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if my fence was up, it's 8 or 9 years old, there's no permit. Anytime from the time I installed it to 9 years later, I could be cited for the violation.
Okay.
So you have a
It was done
violation.
before we
Now, do you-
purchased the house,
I know,
guess.
and this happens all the time.
Okay.
Because unless you're a real estate attorney, no one ever goes to the city and says, there's a shed in my backyard, it's on a slab, was any of that crap ever permitted? And 50% of the time you'll find out, no, it never was.
Okay.
And you end up buying the problem because you bought the property.
And this would never pop in the process of buying the house?
Usually you can find out these things when your title insurance company does a search, and they will do a search and they will ask for a letter from the municipality. And how much does that cost? Do we know?
To do a municipal search is $75.
So for $75, you get a letter from the city saying that you have no outstanding code enforcement issues. But that just means as of that date. So, you know, this can be an issue later on. It just depends on when you get cited for the violation. Do you live in the property?
Mm-hmm.
So it's your homestead.
Yes.
So you can apply for an owner-builder permit for the fence, which is what you need to do. Because whoever did it, and I would love to kick the fence companies because somehow after Irma, there was an orgy out there of fence companies. And they all ran around and made tons of money replacing fences, but a lot of them decided it wasn't worth their time and energy to get a permit, even though it would have been a nothing. And then you get stuck. And I can tell you there's probably 3 or 5 of these on this agenda. And there's been 3 or 5 on every agenda since Irma, maybe a couple months after Irma. And these fence companies all are doing these fences without permits. And unfortunately, the person who owns the property or who buys the property is the one who gets stuck. So what is this, the 726 thing?
726 or 88 or $25 a day fine.
726, 88, or $25. You solve this problem by going to the building department and getting a fence permit issued. Okay, if you just bought the property, you have a fresh survey, correct?
We do.
We do.
And it doesn't matter for fences. This is the time when you want to apply for permits because the village just passed another ordinance that says, you know, the survey can't be how old? More than a year or so old?
But the fence doesn't.
I know the fence doesn't apply, but I'm just saying.
It has to be 2 years.
So after you've owned the property, after the survey's 2 years old, you have to get a new survey for other things, not the fence, if you wanted to put a shed up or a slab or something. So you may want to consider doing that while your survey's new. But for now, all you need to do is get a fence permit issued by July 26th, and you'll be fine.
You want anything else you want to add?
I do have a question.
Sure?
This, and this might be an ignorant question because we're just new owners, but the survey, to me, it looks like it does have a fence. I don't know if
It has a
anything to do with
fence, but it doesn't say it's a permitted fence, and the fence doesn't have a permit. I mean, if this, you could, you know, the surveyor obviously has to put down structures. So he will put the fence on there, but like the house, he doesn't know if the house was permitted. He doesn't know if the driveway was permitted, but he knows physically that he has measured where the driveway is and where the house is and where the lot is. So all the surveyor is doing is saying, this is what exists there. He's not commenting on whether any of it's permitted or legal.
Okay, and now just to make ourselves clear, every time we need to replace fences, do we need to ask for a permit?
No, if you have one side of the fence and you have to replace less than 10% of it, you can do so. So that means if you have, 100 feet of fence, you can replace 10 feet without a permit, which means normally that's for people like me who have wooden fences, you can replace pickets along the way, or maybe even a section of that if it's big enough. Anything bigger than that requires a permit. It's an easy permit. It's usually like a $75 permit or something. $79 permit. They made it $4 more. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to send an order to you that says you have until July 26th to fix it. I guess they still need to call when they get the permit issued so you can know.
Yes.
So call code enforcement when it's issued. Well, actually, you pick up the permit in the same area, turn around and say, where's code enforcement, and show them the permit, and they'll at least note it for you. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, next.
Next, page 9, 18-081, oh, I'm sorry, skip that one. 18-0835, 1366 Elm Bank Way. Krishendot and Shaniza Singh.
Code section is 622-108.4, 15-143, 14-2, 06-190D, and 15-132. Work done without a permit, the driveway. Bare spots in the swale and yard, miscellaneous items, planting areas are overgrown. I observed this on 4/26/18. The notice violation and the notice of hearing were mailed out on 4/26/18 and were posted. I'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. You have service via posting. You can proceed.
You state your name for the record, sir?
Christian Nesson.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is affidavit of service for the notice of hearing and the notice of violation.
Yeah.
Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from the property appraiser website. And Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violations. Do you have any objection to these documents?
No.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right, so I was reading the agenda item and I expected to see an actual driveway there. It's actually just sand or rock or something. Yes?
Yes, sorry. Yes.
Okay, so there's sand or rock. It's sort of almost in a driveway shape, but it's not like the people who put up pavers and then realized they needed a permit or poured a driveway, so.
Correct, and before the respondent speaks to you, just so you know, code sections 14-2 and 06-190D, which are miscellaneous items and planting areas not maintained.
Our findings,
Those are findings of fact.
Okay, let me do my then here.
And while you're writing, we'd be asking for compliance on the remaining sections by 726 or the 8/8 fine assessment hearing or a $25 a day fine.
726. All right, so you took care of the miscellaneous items and the planning areas, and now you have issues with the driveway and the bare spots.
Yeah.
All right, and they're asking that this be done by July 26th.
Permits?
Well, we're going to talk to them in a second.
Okay.
If he gets a permit for the driveway issued before July 26th, is he good on that?
Yes.
Okay. So you can either put sod down and replace it, or you
Yeah.
can get a permit and turn it into a space.
I can put pavers, right?
Well, you would talk to.
You need a permit.
You're still
Yeah.
gonna need a
Yeah, I know.
permit, and
That's
you're
what
gonna
we-
need to
Yeah,
talk to
I
them.
spoke to.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
whatever standards they have, you have to fulfill. So
Yeah.
even if you're, pouring the concrete yourself and mixing it, it has to be the right thickness, whatever.
Right.
The paver's the same thing. I don't know what the regs are. Usually they have sand underneath, and
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is, you have to fulfill, and you have to get it inspected too.
Right.
That'll take care of that. And I guess for the other bare spots, he needs to throw down some sod.
Yes.
Okay? And when you get that done, the sod part at least, you're gonna call her.
Okay.
So she can come by and verify.
Yes.
And at least this is the right time of year.
Yeah.
Because 2 months ago, it would have died.
Rain.
And now you can throw anything green out there and it's gonna live because we're getting rained on all the time.
Excuse me, I do need to tell you though, until you get your permit, I need you to keep that sand off the sidewalk,
Okay.
okay?
All
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, because we have two problems in sidewalks here. One is either sandy and they slip.
Yeah.
Or the other one is the water comes out of the yard and goes across the sidewalks and turns them slimy and you slip. Either way, the village is gonna get sued and so are you, so they don't like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'll clean it up.
Okay, all right, finding of fact on 14.2 and 16-190D, and the others are 726.88 and 25. Correct?
Thank you. Yes.
Granted.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Moving to the top of page 10, 18-0911. Oop, nope, sorry, we already did that one. Moving to near the bottom of 11, 18-0682. Excuse me, 18-0682-9919 Pioneer Road, Pioneer Estates by Luxcom LLC.
Code Section 2041, 2021, 622, 108.4, prohibited signs and flags, unpermitted signs. I observed this violation on 4/6/18, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 4/6/18, and got it back. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
Okay. You have a signed green card, you have service.
Adriana Salazar.
And your affiliation with the property?
I'm the marketing director.
Okay, thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the notice of hearing, notice of violation, and the signed green card. Oops, excuse me.
The signed green card meaning when we got it,
And that somebody signed
somebody
for the
signed for
mail,
it. Can I see
correct.
who signed for it? Okay.
Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from the property appraiser website.
Mm-hmm.
Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violations. And Exhibit 4 is the ISO 400 permit information from the village. Do you have any objection to these documents?
No.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, admitted without objection. Can you even get permits for those signs? I don't know.
Some of them, not the
Not the,
snipe signs or the flags, no. We spoke to her, Linda and I went out there and talked to them.
Correct.
Told them what they needed to do. Haven't done it yet, though, but.
So we are, the reason why I'm here is because we are in the process of basically taking down all of those things because we're getting our monument signs built. So I just need a little bit more time because those flags are going to be moved to our models that'll be ready in the next 20 to 30 days.
you can't have it at your models, though.
Yeah.
Those signs are not,
No, not the signs,
they
the
can't
flags.
have-
I'm talking about the flags.
The
flags can go to
in
the-
front of the models, I
Okay.
believe it. Linda
Right,
told
in
you
front of the
one.
models. And the signs will be taken down because they're clearing that area now and we will permit the new signs that will be going back up.
Okay.
I just need a little bit more time.
well, what time were you looking at?
We're asking for compliance in this case by 6/28 or 7/11 or $50 a day fine.
They're not happy with that. No, 6/28 is like the end of the month. So,
Correct.
and it's no hardship for you to go out there and pull these things out. It's only
Yeah.
loss from a marketing perspective of.
And we're dying on a vine. We're
Well, dying on a vine is not a wonderful excuse to violate village ordinances. If you want to pay the $50 a day, you can make a business decision to decide those signs are worth every penny of that $50. And that's your choice. And this is America. And you can make that decision, but that may not be.
So the signs will be coming down in the next 15 days because they've already started clearing that area. So if I could have the 15 days to be able to pull those
All right,
signs, and we will.
28th.
Is that still the 28th?
15 days would be 27th.
Oh,
Okay.
so the 28th. Okay, perfect.
So can we make it the 28th? Is that a Saturday or something?
No, that's what we asked for, the 28th.
28th, I believe, would be a Thursday, so I
Seven-
would go
7/28?
out and inspect on a Friday.
So, okay, 7/28, you got your 50.
6/28.
6/28, sorry. 6/28 or
7/11.
7/11.
Or
Or
$50 a
50.
day fine.
All right, you have your 15 days, but you should have someone out there on the 28th calling her to say they're
Come back
out.
out. For sure.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Otherwise, you'd have to come back on July 11th hearing, 7/11 hearing.
Oh, is that what that means? So
Yeah.
comply by the 28th or come back to the 11th? Okay, I got
That's
it.
the fine
Okay.
assessment hearing date.
So
Okay.
you don't want to do it for a
As long as
day.
you're in compliance, you won't have to come back.
Okay.
Right, okay?
And as soon as I take them down, I'll call you.
Thank
Great.
you.
6/28, 7/11, or 50 is granted.
Thank you. Next one, 18-0700-164 Martin Circle, Donald R. Wolf and Pedro Torres.
Code section 06190A1 and 15132, screen enclosure needs repaired and landscape debris. I observed this violation on 4/9/18, so now notice of violation, notice of hearing on 4/9/18, and posted it to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents and evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. We'll find out when we're done.
I bet Irma hit this thing hard. You have an affidavit of service, you can proceed.
Peter Torres. Donald Wolf.
Thank you. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is affidavit of service for the notice of hearing and the notice of violation. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from the property appraiser website. And Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violations. Do you have any objection to these documents?
No.
Thank you.
All right, admitted without objection.
You can look, that's fine. Done looking?
No, it's not our house.
That's from Bob White, looking across the canal.
That's the long view.
Oh, got it.
Thank you.
Sometimes they go for boat rides.
Yeah, it started with a boat ride.
Sometimes they go for boat rides and you get all these dock cases and all these
She didn't
backyards.
explain that.
So, and then they zero in on you and then they come at you from the street. So this is probably what happened here.
Yes.
All right, so you have a couple issues there, and it didn't look so bad until I saw like the last picture of the backyard showing a skeleton of the screen enclosure surrounded by, a whole pile of overgrown vegetation, or as I like to call it, the beginning of rat land. So what's up with this? Is it still in this shape?
They're working on it. They are. I met with them. We spoke about
good.
what they need to do, so that they are working on it.
Yeah, they need to.
Trying to find a screen repair.
Well, that's the third of my worries. Is there a pool behind there?
Yes.
Is there fencing around it though?
Well, the bottom of the screen enclosure actually has like a 4-foot metal.
Okay, so that's almost.
And the yard is fenced as
Okay,
well.
good.
So
My
the
pet
pool
peeve is kids. I
secure.
like to make sure they don't drown.
Right.
So you get a lot more,
No, the pool is secure.
stuff out of me if you're not having safety issues. We're really, so the pool's secure, that's, okay, so that's my primary.
Right.
Secondary, they need to find a screen company, which is probably fun at this time of year.
Right.
And then thirdly, they need to knock down that.
I did see the head workers out there.
You need-
Yeah, that was already addressed.
Thank
We
you.
actually, if you drive by there today, you'll see like
you can barely see the house because everything's in front of the house. Oh, they picked it up already. So, yeah, the trees have been taken care of. We have pulled actually the neighbor has pulled the permit for the fence, which again, the fence company inspector, that's what we've been told. It was supposed to be done about 2 weeks ago and it still has not been done. I have called 2 different screen companies. We're on the list to be done, for the pool enclosure. So it's just a waiting game right now.
Right now, the worst part of it was the vegetation. If you've knocked that down,
addressed,
that takes out 50% of the obvious visual blah.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it becomes just the processing and getting the vendors there and the contractors at the right time. Were you going to give these people till 7 something? Is this 7:26?
Or 8/8 or $25 a day fine.
7:26, 8/8, or 25. Keep in contact.
Right.
As you'll be telling her when it's done. If you have some slippage, she'll know, and at least you can tell. People who work with them, I tend to work with.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
As long as you're paying attention and trying.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
All right,
you.
7:26, 8/8, 25 granted.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, moving now. Hold on.
It's like it's finally, the room's starting to look smaller.
Everybody else here, there's 2 that are not fine mints. So she came in late, so we're gonna, is that Tracy? Trixie, we're gonna.
What page?
She's
do we know?
10465, it's a repeat violation.
Okay, so we're under repeats, 15,
10 what?
number 16.
7 right there. And then we have 114 Martin came in, and that should be violation.
All right, are we going to handle Trixie first?
Yes.
All right, Trixie's on repeats. And which one is she? On page 4 or 5?
Page 4, the
Okay.
third one down.
Is it Southern Center? Is it Sherwood? Is it
It's
Confident?
the center. It's the third one down.
Okay, so, okay. Number 16 then.
But we'll get going in
Hold on
1
one
second.
second.
Well, it's just my count of human bodies who have
For the
actually
Margaret's
appeared.
cases.
Okay.
It's another all out of what are we looking for?
114
114?
Martin.
Right
There
there.
he is, right there. Then we'll hear him next, and then we'll go back to the mitigations.
Okay. All right, so 18-1000, how nice and round numbered.
The code sections.
Let me read all of it into the record, sorry. 18-1000, 10465 Southern Boulevard, Center 2 on 441 LLLP. Thank you.
The code sections are 2041, 283D, 288AB1, and 2109. It's irreparable, irreversible, repeat violation for prohibited signage. I observed this violation on 5/19/2018, mailed the notice of violation and notice of hearing certified and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, previous order, finding violation. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 4, pictures.
All right, you have an affidavit of service. I don't believe you've been sworn in, nor have a couple other people, so we're going to do the swearing in thing again. Everyone who hasn't been sworn in, please raise your hand and say, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Say, I do.
I do.
They do. Okay, we have now sworn folks. Ma'am, your name for the record?
Trixie, Trixy Walker.
And your position with Center 2 on 441 LLLP?
I am the property manager for
Prop
the.
manager. Okay.
The exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the notice of irreparable, irreversible repeat violation hearing. Here's the mail documentation. Here's a notice of violation. Affidavit of service for the previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from the property appraiser website. Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violations. you have any objection to these documents?
No.
Thank you.
All right, admitted without objection. Right, so the prohibited signage was all those little snipe sign things?
Yes,
And what is the irreversible, irreparable part?
because they were asked to remove them after us pulling them, the signs every weekend. They were asked to remove them, and they did not.
In fact, they put out more of them?
And it's irreparable and irreversible because once they put them out, the violation has occurred. It's, once you do it, the harm is done.
So your tenant's not making you any friends?
No. I am a third-party property management firm. Started managing the property February of this year. So a couple of things happened. The owners weren't notified. I didn't find out that we had a violation until today. We had a different issue with another tenant, and we called our attorney to pull any violations or records, and this came up today. I called the village today and spoke with Gail,
Yes.
and that's when I found out I needed to be here tonight, because otherwise I would have missed it again. So the owners weren't notified. I did pull up the property tax information when she told me that was mailed to the owners, and the previous property management firm never corrected the address, so I am in the process of correcting the address, and the tenant's no longer there. I did not know about the violation, so I'm here on behalf of the owners tonight to see, what we could do about the fees or what fees are imposed.
See, the village is required to send the notices to the address on the tax collector's roll, and they will do other notices as a courtesy as long as they're requested. But unfortunately, whoever took over this property never changed the notice address. So they, being the village, performed what they did perfectly within the statute. So it's really, that's all I can say about that.
Okay.
Correct.
So
So-
notice was sent to the right place according to Florida
Property appraiser,
statutes.
correct.
What are you asking for in terms of,
So we'd be asking that you find these signs to be irreparable and irreversible violations, which allows you to find them tonight, and we'd be asking for a fine in the amount of $100 per sign. There are 10 signs for a total fine of $1,000.
doesn't sound horrible to me.
I do have a-
Usually irreparable, I've seen $5,000 a day.
Yeah.
I have
I
granted,
had a whole truck full of signs.
I've
when I stopped
granted
and talked to 'em.
3 days of irreparable here in the village for a $15,000 fine against a restaurant.
Yeah. No, we're gonna do what we need to do to.
Yeah, well, no, you're not gonna have this problem again because then that tenant's gone. And that tenant was the source of the problem, but you have to get a handle on the rest of them.
Correct.
I mean, okay, I know exactly where that furniture place was. That used to be my old Staples before it became the furniture place before it went out of business.
And of course, they do it on the weekend when I'm not on the property, so.
All right, $1,000, no continuing.
I apologize, I have a question, because I believe there was a number of violations. This is a repeat, right? So is that the fine, or is there other fines that I don't know about that's gonna come up?
The other case was not mine.
There's other fines, that's what I need to know, so.
You can call me tomorrow, I can verbally give them to you. But
Okay.
You spoke with Margaret first this morning, then you
Correct.
spoke with Gail. So whatever they told you, that's what they are.
Okay.
So those are
if you
your,
wanna call-
those are your two. We're down, this one's gonna have a $1,000 order written on it. And the other one needs to be dealt with somehow.
Correct, we're not here for that one tonight.
So that's
So I'll
all.
call tomorrow and find out.
Find
has
out
to
what
be
you
done.
can do to fix it or get it, taken care of or whatever you need to do.
Okay,
And throw the other people under the bus because they didn't change the address.
yeah,
If
I
they would
know,
have changed the address, you would have gotten your notice and you would have been able to fix it even earlier.
correct, so,
Okay,
alrighty, thank you.
thank you. And next one is,
Moving to page 12 at the top. This is a violation hearing. It's case 18-0704, 114 Martin Circle, Carrie Tring Nguyen.
Code section 14.2 and 9.42, miscellaneous items and the fence needs repaired. Observe this violation on 4/9/18, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 4/9/18, and posted it to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Oh, the vinyl wrapped in the fence stuff. All right, you have service via posting. You can proceed. Sir, your name is?
My name is James Lohmeyer. I am the property owner's fiance.
Spell your last name, please.
Lohmeyer.
Thank you, sir. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into evidence. Exhibit 1 is affidavit of service for the notice of hearing and the notice of violation. This is the original mailing.
I wasn't in the...
Exhibit 2 is proof of ownership from the property appraiser website.
Yeah, it's her house, yeah.
And Exhibit 3 is photographs of the violation. Do you have any objection to these documents?
No, I didn't think it's, I thought you were gonna do the other side. I didn't realize it was that side. I have, structurally,
You worked on the other side.
oh yeah, I fixed the other side. It's
Seen
just,
that.
I just have to put the secured latch. I've been tying it off from the inside. I mean, the hurricane did a number on that.
Yeah.
I have lattice actually in the back of my truck to fix that piece of property if it'd give me a week to
And
do it.
remove those boards that are
You
leaning
gotta
up.
lean it
against-
up against it, yeah.
I
sure.
also noticed,
Well, they'll probably give you more than a week, so that's...
you have some hurricane shutters up still too. You need to.
No, they're all gone.
You took them down as well?
Oh, you're talking about on the back patio?
On the left and right-hand side of the side of the house. I thought there was a shutter on each side still up.
There, I have a small enclosure in the back that used to be like a screened-in thing, probably when the building was completely new. And there was a screen right there, and we just left the shutters up on that one side. Like, do they need to come down? I'll
Yeah,
take
you're
care
not
of it.
supposed to leave them.
Unless there's a hurricane.
Well, it
Announced.
doesn't limit free access to the property at all because
It
there's a
doesn't
screen.
matter.
Still, we don't allow, you have to take them down.
Okay, I'll take
10
them
days
down.
after the storm.
All right.
And the last storm was an Ida, so...
Now, would you?
Well, is he gonna
I
get till
have a trail-
7:26?
I have a trailer parked there, and that's the reason why
No,
there was some
you
lattice.
don't bring up these things
No, but
until
the
you-
thing is that's 5 years ago when we first bought the property, that was an issue, and we repaired it at that time.
No, the trailer has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, you can barely see it. Okay.
Well, no, I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't care what it is. It's not a citation. It's all
In other
good.
words, shut up and leave the room.
You learned.
I
We
did.
all learn. Believe me, I've seen people lose that way too. I was like, and someone goes, "But what about that?" And they went, "Oh yeah."
I just talked myself into a ticket.
So yeah, so 7/26/88. So that gives you till July 26th
Call
to
you.
remove the wood.
Okay.
Get it done sooner, just so you don't have to
No, I
think
have it
about
done in a
it.
week. I have it done in a week. I thought it was the other side. It was
No,
an
no,
issue.
no. Shh.
And just for the record, or a $25 a day fine.
Or 20. I've already said that. 7/26/88 or $25. We'll
It
get
will
this
be
done.
taken care of.
Thank you.
Way ahead
Thank you.
of time.
Appreciate
All
it.
right.
Moving now to the fine mitigation
Okay.
hearing on page 13.
Okay.
17-0201, 10090 Yeoman Lane, John Anthony Metz.
Okay. We'll do them in any particular order you like.
And the first three are here as well.
Oh, I didn't have.
Yeah, that's fine. I'd take them any way you tell me. This works.
We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order assessing fine. Exhibit 2, letter requesting fine mitigation. Exhibit 3, affidavit of compliance. Exhibit 4, verification of ownership.
Okay. Let's see. So 6 months maybe. All right, this is the part of our program where it flips and you get to tell me why you shouldn't be, or why you should be reduced. What is the amount of the fine?
Can you just state your names for the record?
Leanne Jerena,
Marcel Jerena.
All right,
Spell your last name.
LLERENA.
all right, we had a Marcel,
Yes.
Marcel.
Yes.
They're gonna love me for this later. And you, how to spell your first name?
LIANNE.
See? You're gonna love that. All right, and your relation to the property, are you new owners of the property?
We just purchased the property.
And as you asked, Special Magistrate, the fine amount in this case is $18,450, and the village's costs are $2,503.11.
All right. I always just look over there and say, why should the fine be reduced? So why should the fine be reduced?
We tried to buy this property. We doesn't know, about this big amount. As soon we bought the property, we tried to stop. We cut the grass. We do some fix on the fence.
We bring the property into compliance even before having the certificate of title who gave us ownership to pull permits. We called the inspector, we let them know that we was gonna bring everything, and as soon as we get the certificate of title, we'll pull permits to get, the right work done. But everything was clean and complete, so the fines kind of stop accruing before we even have certificate of title.
All right, and you foreclosed on this property?
It was a foreclosure, and we just purchased through the sale on auction, and it's gonna be our homestead as soon as we clean and all that and
Yeah, it was by the court, the
It's
option.
a foreclosure property, and we purchased through auction.
Okay. And the village's position is?
Because this was out of compliance, it just came into compliance on 6/6 of this year, was out of compliance for over a year, we'd be asking for our 2 times our costs.
We purchased the property on May 14, and since May 14, we started working on it and cleaning. There was a lot of work.
I guess our position, the difficulty here is that we have a recorded lien on the property, so
Right.
it was identifiable. It's not like this was not a recorded thing, so they bought it subject to the lien. We're reducing the fine amount by $13,000 if we get 2 times our costs, so that's a fairly significant reduction.
Mm-hmm. Now, you didn't know about the liens? You didn't do title searches? You just jumped in?
Well, we had somebody that was helping us, so.
Yeah, the problem, we tried to find some property have a long time in the neighborhood.
Not good, yeah.
Then when I saw the property, we tried to cash the property at the option. Then we doesn't know that have this big lien because we don't have experience in that. Then it happened for the first buyers. You know what it means? We are no professional in that. Then we didn't know that has the big amount.
But as soon as we knew, we contact,
Mm-hmm.
and we, tried to stop
Okay.
and work on it, and
$2,503.11 by.
90 days would be $913.
I've reduced it to their costs, but it has to be paid within 90 days to clear it, or it goes back up to $18,000.
how much is the total?
$2,503.11.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
I
much.
think it's
Welcome
very-
to the village.
Thank
Keep
you.
your property good.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Thank
Okay.
you. Since we're on this page, we have the one beneath this too, 17-1962-10175 Okeechobee Lane, South Florida Commercial Properties LLC.
That should be Okeechobee Boulevard.
I'm sorry, Okeechobee Boulevard.
We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, fine mitigation request. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership.
Okay. Well, this has a much higher case number, so I figure it's further along in the year, so. What do we have here? The last one was June. No, it's about the same. Oh, this is not even that old. This is like a month old. Wow. You probably have more costs than it. Okay. What's your name, sir?
Vikas Mamgain.
Spell that.
Vikas. Last name Mamgain, Mamgain.
All right, and you are?
I'm the regional manager for the property owners.
Okay.
What did you say, sir? I'm sorry, you're the agent?
Regional manager.
Oh, regional manager. Thank
manager.
you.
gain. Okay. What's the amount of the fine?
$1,025. $1,025.
1025.
Correct, and the village's costs are $1,497.
All right, why should the fine be reduced? I mean, you're looking at the cost probably as higher than the fine, and I usually don't reduce it lower than the cost unless there's some compelling reason.
So, how much is the fine?
1025, 1025. They have 1400 in costs. Usually that's $2,800 if
No,
they're
that's
feeling
fine.
good.
I don't want to reduce it. I don't want this.
Yeah, you've withdrawn your request.
Yeah.
Withdrawn. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Okay, staying on the,
Oh, we're gonna do the last three. You're welcome,
thank you, sir. Staying on the fine mitigations, page 12. Do you want me to call all of these together?
Call them all together. They're right there.
First one is case 10-439, 182 Royal Pine Circle, Pauline Brown. Then case 10-1579, 182 South Royal Pine Circle, Pauline Brown. Then case 10-2004, 182 South Royal Pine Circle, Pauline Brown.
Like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, the order assessing fine, Exhibit 2, affidavit of compliance, Exhibit 3, request for fine mitigation hearing, and Exhibit 4, verification of ownership.
And that's for case,
That is for case 10-439.
thank you.
Are we gonna do these separately, or are we gonna do them all together, or
We can do
what?
them all together if you want to do your
Oh,
review one by one and then.
Yeah, I will make individual determinations, but the documents are all pretty much gonna be the same, and we might as well just get the fine amounts. What's the amount of the fine on 10-439?
10-439 is $31,025. And the village's costs are $5,594.34.
These were all previously mitigated also.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Correct, so in the case that you're looking at now, 10-439, it was previously reduced to the village's cost, which is 5594.34.
Okay, and when was that done?
I don't have the date written down. but
Okay.
I'll get it.
The order was signed on the 12th of January of this year.
Okay, just getting the lay of the land. All right, the next one is
10-1579.
Get your exhibits in.
And I'd like to enter into evidence the order assessing fine, affidavit of compliance, request for mitigation, and verification of ownership.
all right, and what is the amount of this fine?
$21,725, and the village's costs are $4,349.76. And this was also previously reduced to the village's costs, which were $4,349.76.
Okay. And last but not least, 2004.
I'd like to enter into evidence the order assessing fine, Exhibit 2, affidavit of compliance, Exhibit 3, request for fine mitigation, and Exhibit 4, verification of ownership.
All right, and the fine amount here?
$2,750, and the village's costs were $1,844.51. And that fine was previously reduced to $1,500.
All right, who do we have before us today?
My name is Geraldine Walcott Davis.
And I'm Pastor Rose.
Okay. I probably asked you this before, but why should the fines be reduced?
Yes, because I said I didn't know about it and I don't have any money and I put up the house to sell and it's in contract. We don't sell it at the end.
Well, see, that's why I reduced it the last time, is you had it in contract, and I gave you a lot of time to fix it and do
Nobody
something.
bought it.
Can I speak for, sir?
You go right ahead.
Yeah, the house was, at the time when she found out about this, they had already gone ahead and put the house on the market because when she assessed her financial situation, she couldn't afford it, and you reduce it for her. But they did not get a contract on the house until recently. So we were hoping that the house would have been sold. so that she will be able to pay. They now have a contract, and they're only waiting on FP&L to do some repairs on their side so that the sale can go through, and that's the only thing that's holding up the sale, and that should be done shortly. So that's, she don't have the money to pay, period, and the only way that she can get the money is to sell a house. And it's in process of being sold. I have the contract here.
What does the village want to do?
We were not opposed to reducing them to the same amounts that they were previously reduced to.
I will go along with you. Give me a 90-day window again.
In 90 days, it would be 9/13.
You can thank the village of Royal Palm Beach for having a heart.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I will sign those orders.
Can we read them in just so?
Okay, for 10-439, the fine will be reduced from $31,025 to $5,594.34, payable by September 13th. On case number 10-1579, the $21,725 fine will be reduced to $4,349.76 by 9/13. And on case number 10-2004, the $2,750 fine will be reduced to $1,500 payable by 9/13.
Thank you, sir.
I will sign those orders.
Thank you.
Thank you, and that clears the room.
Very much. Have a
Thank
great
you. Does
evening.
anyone need a break? We just need to plug on. Let's plug on.
Have a
Back
good
to number
night.
one on number one.
I'm sorry? You okay?
Thank you. She said have a good night. Thank you, you too.
Have a good evening.
You too. Thanks.
Under status/fine assessment hearing, case 17-1963 is being pulled.
Thank
Moving
goodness.
to fine assessment hearings, 18-0050, 110 Santa Cruz Avenue, Edgard Bonney and Najij Wicker.
This sounds like a pirate name, by the way. Edgar Bonnie. I think there was a Bonnie pirate. Okay. The Bonnies and the Wickers.
He's ready.
Okay, I'd like to enter into evidence the previous order dated 4/16/18, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, we're really checking service more than anything else, so I see a signed green card, which indicates you do have service. I see this is fence without a permit. Oh, no, this is not. It's shed. Okay. Shed case. Why do I have fence pictures? Oh.
Because
got
they
it.
put
There.
up the fence now, and I can't see the rest of the stuff.
Okay, that's fine. What do you want to do with them?
This has been out of compliance for 13 days, so we'd be asking for a fine in the amount of $325 and can,
325 plus continuing is granted.
right? Still out of compliance? Yeah, thank you. 18-0159, 188 Bilbao Street, Clifton A. Sabar.
I'd like to enter into evidence the previous order, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, you have service via posting. Let's see what he's done with his world. We have,
Nothing.
are those accordions or are they regular?
They're the,
Lexan?
yeah,
Okay, they're pretty.
yeah.
I guess you can see light through them, but they're not fulfilling the village code requirements, so is this a
It's again
325
13
plus
days, so
continuing?
325 and continuing.
Granted.
18-0203, 423 Las Palmas Street, Willa M. Bernard.
I'd like to enter into evidence the previous order dated 4/16/18, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. You have a signed green card from actually Willis, so you are good to go.
Again, this has been out of compliance for 13 days, so we'd be asking for a $325 a day fine and continuing.
They must have irrigation because it's rusty colored. Well, actually, I take that back. I was telling people that they slime over the sidewalks. That may be one of them as well. 325 plus continuing,
Yes, sir.
granted.
18-0328, 145 Bilbao Street, Michael D. Harrison.
I'd like to enter into evidence the previous order, verification of ownership, and the pictures.
Ah, another signed green card. On a roll. All right, sod has been removed. Let's see what we have. You're gonna have to help me out a little bit more with this picture. Just give me a little description because we've got a mailbox that's
He
blocking
removed-
away
He
your.
removed all of the sod from the yard and the swale. He told
Okay.
me he's planning on replacing it, but he didn't say
Well,
when.
Someday, maybe. All right.
This is,
325 plus
no,
continuing
this,
or
this is the same 13 days, but at a $50 a day fine, so it's
$650
$650.
plus continuing? That's 3 pallets of sod.
Thank you. 18-0337, 9200 Belvedere Road, number 103, Gloria Guao Professional Group, LLC.
I'd like to enter into evidence the amended fine assessment hearing notice attached to the previous order. Exhibit 3 is verification of ownership, and Exhibit 4 is pictures.
Now, didn't she used to show up for these?
She did.
She used to actually show up for these things. I guess she's ignoring them.
So in this, what we'd be asking for is an amended order assessing fine. In the previous order that you signed, there was a fine assessment for the code section 16 that had to do with the business tax that was improper.
Okay.
So we need to have an amended order which removes those code sections and just assesses the fine
For
for
the
the signs
sign.
without a permit.
All right, so I'm drawing a line through the operator. Is that 16-1?
Correct,
Yes.
16
I'm just drawing a line through 16-1, and you're just going under 6-22 and 108.4, and that is how much?
It's, as of today's hearing, it's been out of compliance for 47 days, so we'd be asking for a $2,350 fine. and continuing.
2350 plus continuing is granted.
Thank you.
Got it. A new bakery. Oh, that's the bakery lady.
18-0505, 543 North State Road 7, number 107, Royal Center LLC.
I'd like to enter into evidence the previous order dated 5/14/18, Exhibit 2 verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 pictures.
She showed up too. She didn't do it again. You got a signed order or a signed green card. You know, for someone who looks like she was just out there practicing, that kind of looks like it's ready for business. What would you like on this?
So this, we'd be asking for a fine. It's been out for 13 days, so we'd be asking for a $325 and continuing fine.
Granted.
Plus, actually, we'd also like to add the license fee plus the 25% penalty.
So that's 400 and something? What
Well,
is
it'll be
that?
continuing. The other one is continuing, so let's not put a total. We'll just
All right,
put
325 plus continuing on, okay,
plus the license plus a 25% penalty.
plus license,
Correct.
plus 25%. Granted.
Thank you.
You word it the way you like it.
Thank you. 17-1618, 10198 Yeoman Lane, Winfield, and Julie A. Trowbridge.
Would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order granting continuance and setting fine assessment hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Ooh, signed green cards. Love me some signed green cards. Okay. So they should have painted before it got all wettish.
This has
What'd you
been
like?
out of compliance for 9 days, so we'd be asking for a fine of $225 and continuing.
225 plus continuing, that's just to keep me awake.
18-0067, 1328, this should be Carousel Way. Jean T. Lusant and Florice Laducier.
It says carousel.
We'd like,
Okay.
sorry. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, permit information.
So the building permit people decided, hey, it's 2013, let's go fix this. Got a signed green card.
This has been out of compliance for 13 days, so $325 and continuing fine.
325 plus continuing is granted.
Thank you.
18-0124 at the bottom of the page is being pulled.
Yay.
18-0132, 184 Kingsway, Lawrence M. and Joanne M. Needle Jr.
I'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, permit information. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Is this a fine or is this a fine?
No, we'd be
in
asking for an
effect?
order assessing no fine.
Order of no fine is granted.
thank you. 18-0185, 128 Canterbury Place, Rigoberto and Kimberly A. Lopez Jr.
Need a fan. I've got leftover ones from horse show days. It might have a little hair on them. All right, Rigoberto and Kimberly.
Yeah, 128 Canterbury. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, permit information.
All right, you have a signed green card. Did you take the village drone and fly over there and see if they ever actually built it? Or you don't have a village drone yet?
I don't have a drone, no.
You
No
need
drone.
one. You could fly one up over and they'll look in the yards.
Don't give them no ideas, please.
This has been out of compliance for 13 days, so we'd be asking for a $325 a day and continuing fine.
325 plus continue is granted. You can find my
18.
brother-in-law's one. It's on somebody's roof over in La Mancha somewhere.
18-0237-109 Starling Avenue, Celamine Flores Hill, and Sandra Alon.
Like to enter the following document into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, AS400 permit information. Exhibit 4, picture.
So we have people who get permits that don't get them done, and we have people who do things without permits.
Yep.
We're good. But it's still got stickers on the windows, so they're even good. Cool. The lattice isn't looking so hot for their screened garbage can, but that's okay too. What, 325 plus continuing?
25 plus
Granted.
continuing, thank you. 18-0246, 153 Dove Circle, John and Sasha S. Lejeune.
Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking, it looks like a new fence. Oh, it's a structure.
The structure saying the new fence is coming up next.
Oh, okay. Structure is staying. It's got that little moldy thing going. 325 plus continuing.
Yes, sir.
All right. Are they right next? They're coming up again. Okay.
It's coming up in a violation.
18-0258, 1061 Moonlight Way, Sean D. and Rosalia M. Tyler.
Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, AS400 permit information.
Margaret gets all these signed green cards. Good addresses. All right. So what on this one?
Again, 13 days, 325 and continuing.
Another new fence without a permit. Never heard that happening here. All right. Next.
18-0330, 291 Sandpiper Avenue, Broad Tree Homes, Florida,
Like that.
LLC.
Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right. So the Broad Tree people signed from Rochester, New York. We have, I guess, is this a boat or the neighbor's not happy?
2 boats, boat trailer parked in the backyard, miscellaneous items. They still have wood over the windows.
Saying, did you find it when you were out on the boat, or is the neighbor just went?
No, this is right on the corner. You don't
Oh,
need
so you don't even have to do that.
Yeah, it
Got
takes all
it.
the fun out of it.
Okay, no adventure there. How much? 325 or 650? What is
325 and
3
continuing.
plus 25 plus continuing is granted.
18-0092, 10101, and 10109 Southern Boulevard, 10101 Southern Boulevard Holdings.
It's a lot of 10101s.
I'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. This is
wanna see
Linda
the
Walker's case.
I want to see the excessive window signage. It makes it fun. Oh my God, Linda burned a bunch of toner.
Yeah.
Reminds me, I need to go to the post office. Isn't the post office in here?
Yes.
I've got to go get a flag for my father's service.
We'll just do it anyways.
Yeah, because she said, just not a lot.
Do you know you
Make
can
sure
get
you
flags
get
at the post office for free?
Really?
Yeah, if your veteran is dead.
I do have one. Check that.
Yep. Signed green card equals service. You can proceed.
So in this one, the village is willing to give a bit of additional time. This
Okay.
requires a site plan modification and also a vegetation removal permit.
Okay.
So the village would ask that those both be submitted by 7/1, and then we'll set this for status/fine on the 7/11 hearing, or $50 a day.
All right, 7-1 permit submitted, 7-11,
It's
50.
actually site plan modification and vegetation removal permit.
veg permit, and
Site plan
site
mod.
plan mod.
By 7/1, and we'll set it for status/fine on 7/11, or a $50 a day fine.
Okay, all kinds of arrows, status,
I'm sorry, status dash fine.
On
and
7/11.
7-11, okay.
But
So
essentially, the
7 to
village
1,
just-
you'll have a vegetative permit submitted and a site plan modification should be submitted, or they appeal the 7-11 hearing for a status/fine assessment hearing or face a $50 a day fine.
And one additional thing, compliance on
More?
there's a couple of additional things that are outstanding violations. So the tiles missing from the roof, and the excessive window signage, I'll also phrase the language such that requires compliance by 7/1 as well.
Okay,
So
7-1,
the window signs and.
everything, pretty much. Everything 7-1.
7-11.
Tiles,
The difficulty is there's dead landscaping, so they have to get a site plan modification approved. So that's why we're
that's
calling out
fine,
the
you
site
write
plan
it, I sign it,
modification.
it's all
Okay.
good. Granted.
Thank you.
So the site plan modification, and what was
Yep.
the veg?
Vegetation removal permit.
Thank you.
Moving again to the repeat violation hearings, 18-1003, 125 Sherwood Drive, Bewley LLC.
The code sections are 1557, 6190A, and 124C. These are all repeat violations for high grass and weeds, drive and sidewalk stained, and garbage can not screened. I observed the violation on 5/20. Violation of notice of hearing was mailed out on 5/21 and got the green card back signed. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, previous order finding violation, Exhibit 3, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 4, pictures, Exhibit 5, affidavit of compliance.
I'm trying to figure out what color that Mustang is. The affidavit of compliance, okay, what do you want, since we have an affidavit of compliance, it's either
This
an
was out of
amount,
compliance for 17 days at $50 a day, so we'd be asking for an $850 fine.
$850, no continuing.
18-1036, confidential record, Timothy J. Maurer and Renee E. Wojens.
Would they,
Code sections are 1557, 94, and 2662F. These are repeat violations for high grass and weeds, fence in disrepair, making the pool unsecured. I observed this violation on 5/29, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing, and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, orders, finding violation, Exhibit 4, pictures.
now isn't this thing in foreclosure, or is it? Do we know?
No,
Because they've been up and down here a bunch of times.
they have, and there was a time where somebody was helping to mow or do some things, but I
But I
understand
think
that stopped.
that time might have passed.
Correct.
All right, what do you want?
So we'd be asking, this has been out of compliance for 16 days, so we'd be asking for a at $500 a day. So we'd be asking for an $8,000 fine and continuing. And we'd also be asking for a one-time abatement.
Please abate it when the $8,000 is continued. I do not like pools being accessible, especially with this rain and school being out.
Thank you. Next, top of page 5, 18-0986, 106 Hemingway Court, Marguerite McCormick.
We would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, order finding violation, permitting village abatement. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures. Exhibit 5, affidavit of compliance.
I just dropped my pen. There's an affidavit of compliance here. I thought this was the monthly mow yard thing.
They just cut it right before hearing. We were going to ask for an abatement, but they cut it.
Wow, you're not paying for the $80 mow this month. All right, so what do you want on this one?
It's been out of compliance, or was out of compliance for 20 days at $250 a day, so we'd be asking for a $5,000 fine.
$5,000, no continuing, I guess?
Correct.
5,000, no continuing.
Thank you.
Moving to the violation hearings, 18-0484181 Ponce de Leon Street, Albert J. and Angelina T. Torres.
The code sections are 2316 and 144A, parking on the swale not facing with the flow of traffic, and disabled unregistered vehicle. I observed this violation on 3/9/18, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing, and got the green card back signed. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay, cute little boat. Everyone should have a cute little boat. But they're really happy they passed the no ladder, or the ladder's allowed ordinance. So what do we have here?
This is finding of fact.
Oh, after all that, we have people parked in the grass because you don't want your boat in the grass. Finding of fact is granted.
Thank you. 18-525, 276 La Mancha Avenue, Nefertari T. Daly.
Code sections are 144A, 142, and 6190A, disabled unregistered vehicles, debris stored on driveway, and drive and sidewalk stained. I observed this violation on 3/15/18, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing, certified, and got the green card back signed. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Nice grass. Signed green card is service. 118. And they have a tire up there. How cute. Okay. What do you want with these?
Compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 hearing or $25 a day fine.
7268825 granted.
18-0568 112 Santiago Street, Michael Montes de Oca and Nacel N. Diaz.
Code section is 9-1. Fence was done without a permit. I observed this violation on 3/22, mailed the notice of violation, a notice of hearing on 3/22/18, and have actual service. I spoke to the homeowner. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
I have the pretty plastic stuff that gets all moldy. All right, you have an affidavit of service. You can proceed, and you actually have actual service. So what do you want to do?
Compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 fine assessment hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
18-0591 353 Las Palmas Street, William Bass and Tracy Stevens.
Code section is 9-2 and 12-4C. Gate is not an approved fence material, and garbage can not screened from view. I observed this violation on 3/27/18, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing, certified, and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay, that's interesting. What kind of gate is that? Steel? Sliding?
Corrugated, I'm not sure
Corrugated
what it is.
metal of some kind? That's a tough gate. Okay.
In this case, you'd be asking for compliance by 8/24 or the 9/12 hearing or a $25 a day fine.
Okay, maybe they'll get it permitted. Who knows? Granted.
18-0593 363 Las Palmas Street, Carol A. Coomer.
Code section is 14-4A, disabled unregistered vehicle. I observed this violation on 3/27/18, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing, and got the green card back signed. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, so it's a truck from Wayne Acres. That's all I can tell. All right, you have a signed green card. What would you like?
Compliance by 6/28 or the 7/11 hearing or $25 a day fine.
628, 71125. Thank you for varying it.
18-0594 167 Miramar Avenue, Dimitri Dumargant and Jeanette Narcisse.
The code section is 14-4A, vehicle parked and not moving every 30 days. I observed this violation on 3/27/18, mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing, and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, so you have a picture from 510, you have a picture from 531, so it also has not moved more? I'm just getting you to the 30 days.
It never moves. It was parked in the street without moving, then they moved it to the driveway and never moved it.
See, they just need to have their child come back from college and take their car and they would move. All right.
We'd be asking for compliance by 6/28 or the 7/11 hearing or $25 a day fine.
628, 711, 25, granted.
18-0614, 253 Las Palmas Street, Lisa R. Seeley.
Code sections are 6198, 124C, 142, and 6135. Driving sidewalk or stain, garbage can and debris stored on the driveway, and numbers not posted on the house. I observed this violation on 3/28/18, mailed a notice of violation and notice of hearing certified, and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay, I see the sidewalks are gray. The garbage is right in front of the door. Cool, you proved your case. What do you want?
Compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
18-0629, 148 Granada Street, Fred Carver Jr.
Code section is 2318B2, restricted trailer parked on the driveway. I observed this violation on 3/28/18, mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, got the green card back signed but not dated. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, signed green card equals service. We have a restricted trailer. Okay, no
Just come
screen.
into compliance, so we'd be asking for a finding of fact.
Finding of fact is granted.
18-0640, 109 Cortez Avenue, Cynthia L. Little.
Your code section is 9-1 and 2657, fence and shed without a permit. I observed this violation on 3/29/18, mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and got the green card back signed. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Lovely new section of fence and a nice looking shed. What would you like?
Again, this is coming to compliance, so we'd be asking for a finding of fact.
Finding of fact is granted. At least people are doing things.
18-0832, 23 Ponce de Leon Street, Fitzroy O. and Pauline L. Darlington.
Code section is 144A, disabled vehicle. I observed this violation on 4/25/18, mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
So I take it's the one underneath the tarp?
Yes, without any wheels.
Oh, come on. It's just got jack stands. They're working on that wheelie thing. You have service via posting.
Compliance by 6/28 or the 7/11 hearing or $25 a day fine.
You know, we almost had 4 finding of facts in a row where these people messed it up. Next.
Top of page 7, 18-0879, 116 Malaga Street, Keith Davis.
You tell Keith he needs to fix this stuff.
Code section is 2318B3. Violation is parking on the lawn. I observed this violation on 5/3/18. Mailed the notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and posted them on the property. I get into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Every time I see him, I tell him about this too. Chevy people. Come on, Chevy people. All right, you have service via posting. What do you like?
Compliance by 6/28 or the 7/11 hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
18-1001, 980 Crestwood Boulevard, Lennar Homes LLC.
Code section is 15141, dead palm tree in the median on Crestwood Boulevard. I observed this violation on 5/21/18, mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and got the green card back signed. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
So I saw that sucker after it had been struck by lightning. I saw it with the hole in it where the bird had made a home. I saw it fall over and break in two, and now you're finally getting it out. For the people who say they run around looking for this stuff, obviously you weren't looking for this stuff. What would you like?
This is coming to compliance, so finding of fact.
Finding of fact is granted. I knew that.
18-0149, 100 Crestwood Court North, 108, Jerry Alcivar.
Code section 622105.5, permit expired for a water heater. I observed this on 1/23/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 1/23/18 and were posted. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, permit information.
So, very lovely smelling motion. You have service via posting.
Thank you.
Compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted. So strawberry-ish? Peach.
18-0498 1169 Grand Duke Way, Migo LLC.
Code Section 622108.4, work done without a permit, a door. I observed this on 3/10/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 3/12/18 and were posted. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. You have it via posting, so you can proceed. Red went to white.
We'd be asking for compliance by 6/28 or the 7/11 hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
18-0550 137 Kingsway, Brian and Jennifer Atkins.
This is what I wanted to see.
Code Section
All material
9.1
used.
and 9.2, fence installed without a permit and the wrong fence material used. I observed this on 3/20/18. The notice of violation and notice of hearing were mailed out on 3/20/18 and were signed for on 3/24/18. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures. Oh,
All right,
and
so-
affidavit of compliance.
Okay, Jennifer signed for it, they fixed it, and everything's good, right?
Correct.
Finding
of
fact?
Yes, sir.
Granted.
Thank you.
18-0554 780 Camellia Drive, Elizabeth Thompson.
Code Section 622108.491, 2657, work done without a permit, a fence, and overhang,
Hangover.
an overhang slash over the patio, like a carport, you know, patio.
It was a hangover.
Okay. I observed this on 3/20/18. The notice violation, notice of hearing were mailed out 3/21/18 and were posted. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Lou's throwing away public records. Okay. So some people I was reading about the other day invented an electrolyte drink to cut down on your hangovers. It's way too late for me. I don't know how many electrolytes. All right, work done without a permit and
This
a
one-
hangover.
Code Section 9-1, which is the fence,
Yes.
is a finding of fact.
Okay.
And so for 6/22 and 26-57, we'd be asking for compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
18-0688 843 Hibiscus Drive, Thai Cam and Bon H. Ong.
Code Section 14.4A, 14.2, and 23.18, disabled vehicle, miscellaneous items, vehicle parked in the rear yard. I observed this on 4/6/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 4/9/18 and were signed for on 4/11/18. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Sign green card equals service. What am I looking for? Oh, the stuff parked in the rear yard.
No, he moved it around front.
Oh, how nice. Finding of fact?
23-18, which is the vehicle parked in the rear yard, is a finding of fact.
Okay.
Remaining code sections compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 hearing or $25 a day fine.
Hold on, 7/26/88. 25 is granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
18-0692 171 Kingsway, Joseph A. Marati.
Crap. Oh, never mind.
Code Section 15-141, dead trees. I observed this on 4/6/18. The notice violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 4/9/18 and were signed for on 4/18/18. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, you have a signed green card. You have service. That's pretty entertaining. You get top trees. It's like goalposts. You have a signed green card. What do you want?
Compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 hearing or $25 a day fine.
Okay. I'm almost wondering how that happened.
Next is 18-0693 212 Preserve Court, Andrew J. Gianta.
Code section is 2657, canopy installed without a permit. I observed this on 4/6/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 4/9/18 and were posted. We would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. You have an affidavit of posting, you have service.
Okay. In this one, we'd be asking for compliance by 7/26 or 8/8 or $25 a day fine.
I had to squint, but I finally saw it across the canal. This is taking a long time.
Next is 18-0725, 873 Azalea Drive, Alfred L. Silence.
Code Section 06190A1594, screen missing on patio, sidewalk stained, fence in disrepair. I observed this on 4/10/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 4/13/18 and were signed for on 4/16/18. Like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay, signed green card equals service. This just goes to show that not everyone replaced their fences after Irma or Ida. So what do you want with these?
Compliance by 7/26 or 8/8 or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
18-0726, 942 Camellia Drive, Alyssa A. Cruz.
Code Section 622108.4, work done without a permit, the dock. I observed this on 4/13/18, and the notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 4/13/18 and were signed for on 4/16/18. I'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
It's David up here too.
Okay, yeah. So it
Is
was
he on the
supposed to be,
property?
Yeah.
All right. Your secretary's just making sure that everyone's supposed to be there.
She always looks out for us.
So here's a dock right by the sidewalk, which is really easy to see. Okay, signed green card equals service.
Compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
18-0812, 154 Queens Lane, 2017 1 IH borrower LP.
Code Section 06190A13, roof and driveway are stained. The roof was stained when I first wrote this. Now it has a blue tarp on it.
So
We're
they're hiding the stains, huh?
We're still going through. So I observed this on 4/21/18. The notice violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 4/23/18 and were posted. I'd like to enter the following into evidence. Oh, wait. No, I have a green card. It was signed on 4/28. I'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
The mailroom, they love it. All right, so I guess the stained roof just isn't enough. They wanted to go blue. 5/18, and then the next picture is, this is what happens when the rainy season hits. You learn that your stained roof has a leak. Okay, you have service. What do you want?
Compliance by 6/28 or 7/11 hearing or $50 a day fine.
I like the variety. Granted.
Thank you. 18-0814, 870 Croton Drive, Joanne Downey and Justine Artiga Estate.
Code Section 2318B3B, vehicle parked on the front lawn. I observed this on 4/21/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 4/23/18 and were signed for on 4/25/18. I'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Finding of fact? Or
Yes,
fine?
sir, finding of fact.
Finding of
Oh,
fact
no,
is-
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry, I was on the wrong page.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Finding of fact granted.
Thank you,
It's
sir.
late. It's a long day.
18-0815.
This is just seeming very long for some reason. It's a 14-page agenda, but it's just dragging.
18-0815, 855 Azalea Drive, Leroy S. and Norma M. Gillespie.
Code Section 06190A13, the trim on the structure is not painted, driveway in disrepair with a pothole. I observed this on 4/21/18. The notice violation and the notice of hearing were mailed out on 4/23/18, and were signed for on 4/25/18. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Signed green card. I just wanted to see the pothole. Okay, I've seen the pothole. Old asphalt driveway. Don't have a lot of those in here. Okay.
Finding
Finding
of fact.
fact.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Next, 18-0842 is being pulled. 18-0857 is being pulled.
Yay, keep going.
18-0858, 10091 Patience Lane, RHA 2 LLC.
You had it going, then you just stopped.
Code section 622105.5, permit expired for mechanical. I observed this on 5/1/18. The notice violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 5/1/18 and were signed for on 5/8/18. Would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Permit information.
Something. Signed green card equals service.
We'd be asking for compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 hearing or a $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
18-0860 is being pulled. 18-0862, 10318 Pippin Lane, Bryant and Lisa San Lucas.
Code section 622105.5, permit expired. I observed this on 5/1/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 5/1/18. And I have actual service on this. The notice of violation and we'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, permit information. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
See, these people are like one of the 3 people in the village who actually got a gazebo permitted, and they didn't get it finalized until now. And you helped. Finding of fact is granted.
Thank you. 18-0863 is being pulled. 18-0931 92 Palmetto Lane, DR Horton, Inc.
Code section 2041, flag signs are placed in the swale. I observed this on 5/15/18. The notice of violation, notice of hearing were mailed out on 5/16/18 and were signed for on 5/18/18. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
So I almost got excited. It's like, oh, it's Tim Horton Donuts. No, it's DR Horton, the house builder. Dang. It's like, oh, no. Okay. Is this finding of fact or is they have
Yes,
fine?
sir.
Finding of fact is granted.
Thank you.
And then if we could,
You can do whatever.
we need a correction on page 2 for one of the cases that you already ruled on. So if we can, I guess.
You don't want to do this at the end. You want to jump backwards. That's okay.
Correct.
You can do that.
It's the fifth one down, 17-1618, 10198 Yeoman Lane, Winfield, and Julie A. Trowbridge.
You had $225.
Correct. The code enforcement officer informed me that we need to, they're willing to grant additional time.
Okay, well, I will draw a line through the $225 plus continuing and change it to,
Compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 hearing, or a $25 a day fine.
and we'll make it a status/fine.
Status/fine, yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have my finger in the right place. I flipped right back. All right.
Thank
Now
you,
down to
sir.
18,447.
18-0447, 153 Dove Circle, John and Sasha S. Lejeune.
So somehow I picture all these roofers together at a beach in the Caribbean. You know, look at all this money we made doing all these fences without permits.
This is code section 9-1, replace the fence without a permit. I observed this violation on 4/10/18. Send out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 4/10/18. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
And they also have a shutter on, too.
They did take the shutter down.
Oh, well, that's nice of them. They tried something. All right, so you have service. What do you want?
Compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 hearing or $25 a day
Granted.
fine.
Thank you.
18-0517, 104 Sunflower Circle, Hilda L. Gumuccio.
Code section 06190A1, a decorative wall is damaged. I observed this violation on 3/13/18. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 3/13/18, and I posted it to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Say missing rocks.
Yeah, hole in the wall.
Oh, put some rocks in there, cover that the whole right up. All right, 726-8825?
Correct.
Granted.
Thank you.
18-0567, 127 Finch Court, Harry C. Gray and Donna K. Smith.
Code section 06190A1, 3, and 5, sidewalk and driveway are stained. I observed this violation on 3/22/18. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 3/22/18, and had to post it to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
I like the way you take the picture on a nice rainy day to give a glossy look to that gray sidewalk or gray driveway. It's very nice, very artistic.
Yeah, I wait for the rain.
Okay, 726, 88, 25?
726, 88, or 25, yes, sir. Next, 18-0569, 133 Finch Court, Diego Betancourt and Roxana Ponce.
Code sections 2657, 06190A1, 3, and 5. Canopy installed without a permit. Sidewalk and bottom portion of the driveway are stained. I observed this violation on 3/22/18, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 3/22/18, and posted it to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, ask for under permit information.
So do they get a permit for the fence?
Yeah, they have a permit for the fence.
So like, look at that, brand new fence. I wonder if it's like
They
one
do
of the
not
2
have a
permitted
permit
ones.
for the canopy behind the fence.
Well, that's their problem now. 72688?
Yes, sir. Or
25?
$25 day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
18-0582, 206 Sandpiper Avenue, Alicia Flores.
Code section 2318B and 14.4, boat parked in the backyard, disabled vehicle. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1. Oops. Do I do that? I observed this violation on 3/23/18, found notice of violation, notice of hearing on 3/23/18, and I spoke to the owner on 3/30/18. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Can't ever get to play with that thing if it's stuck out there in the yard. All right, you have service via posting. What would you like?
And this one, code section 14-4, which is the disabled vehicles, a finding of fact.
Okay.
And the other section, 2318B, compliance by 726 or 88 or $25 day fine.
Granted.
18-0643, 1125 Rhapsody Way, Deutsche Bank National Trust Co. Trust.
Code section 2657 and 2318, shed in the side setback, parking on the front lawn. I observed this violation on 3/30/18, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 4/2/18, and I received it on 4/10/18. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Looks a little like loose truck. Does, doesn't it? Come on, 4-door Ford F-150. I know, it said Marines or something. You have service via signed green card. What do you like?
Compliance by 628 or the 7/11 hearing or $25 day fine.
Granted.
18-0647, 2601 West Lakeview Drive, Renee Hamilton.
Code section 6135 and 06190A1, house numbers need repaired and front slab by the door is undermined. Observed this violation on 4/2/18, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 4/2/18, and posted it to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Now, is that on an incline?
Somewhat, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of weird. I mean, it's almost like they tried to do a handicap ramp, but they did it wrong.
Yeah, and then all underneath is all the dirt's gone, like from a sprinkler.
Well, it just
washed
washed out somehow. Somehow they're getting rain coming through and washing out from under it, but this is weird. Okay. Your weirdness wants what?
Compliance by 726 or the 88 fine hearing or $25 day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
18-0650, 125 Hyder Court, Stevenson G. D. Satut and Mona Talent.
Code section 06190D, 1557 and 98. High grass and weeds in the planted areas, hedges exceed maximum height. I observed this violation on 4/2/18, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 4/3/18, and received the green card on 4/20/18. Like to enter the following documents as evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. And I forgot an affidavit of compliance.
Well, I would think by this time, a month later, it'd all be green because we've been deluged. You know, we're supposed to get 5 inches of rain in May. We got 30. We did good. All right, so finding of fact?
Yes, sir.
Please.
Granted.
Thank you.
18-0658, 266 Sandpiper Avenue, Jorge and Haiti Rivera.
Code section 2657 and 06190A12C, place structure without a permit and patch on the side of the house does not match existing color. I observed this violation on 4/4/18, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 4/5/18, and posted it to the property as well. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information.
All right, so someone went for a boat ride, I can tell. You have a affidavit of service, you can proceed. I saw the place structure.
We'd be asking for compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
18-0661, 120 Sandpiper Avenue, Carmelo Vargas.
Code section 06191, 2657, 06190A12 and C. The pool needs repaired. Well patched is not painted to match existing house color. I observed this violation on 4/4/18, sent out a notice of violation, notice of hearing on 4/5/18, and received it back on 4/11/18. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay, it's like you got a shiny new toy and you're using it. The last two are, wall patches do not match.
The pool in the backyard too is all like collapsed. You
Oh.
really can't see it too well from here.
That's all right, I like that. It's all collapsed. I'll take your testimony. No one's objecting. All right, so what do you want with these people?
Compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
At the bottom, 18-0702, 160 Martin Circle, Maudlin and Herbert Campbell.
Code section 14206190A1, miscellaneous items on the back porch, tarp on roof. Observe this violation on 4/9/18. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 4/9/18, and posted it to the property.
Lou?
I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Now you're probably messing with the thermostat. You know, they've ruined my daughter. The damn dorms at FSU are like 68 degrees, and we have 78 here at the house because we're like South Floridians, or not North Floridians. Okay, yeah, it's kind of dirty. Okay, what are we looking for? Miscellaneous tarp on. If you have a tarp on your roof now at the beginning of the rainy season, you are going to be in bad shape.
And that
7/26?
section has actually 06190A1, which is the tarp on the roof, has come into compliance, so that's a finding of fact.
Whoa, look at that.
And then for
They just put a
14
tarp on there for fun? Or they're like, oh, just let it leak.
For 14-2, we'd ask for compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 hearing or $25 a day fine.
No, you can't fix the stuff on the back porch. It's easy. Let's take the roof off. Okay, granted.
Thank you. 18-0713, 10683 Aquarius Lane, Progress Residential Borrower 1 LLC.
Code section 06190A1, 3, and 5, sidewalk and driveway are stained. Observe this violation on 4/10/18. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 4/12/18, and they signed for it on 4/16/18. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
See, I remember Wes Smith because I love his stamp. He's got a signature stamp that has his cursive signature with his spelled out name underneath it that fits perfectly in the green card. Good going, Mr. Miller.
They should not get green cards.
They must get a lot. Oh my goodness. I don't know if that's like just the shade, but look at that one. Even better. Good photography. What would you like?
So in this one, 06190A3 is a finding of fact. That's the driveway stained. And then for the remaining sections, compliance by 6/28 or the 7/11 hearing or $25 a day fine.
Just the driveway?
Correct.
All right, and the sidewalk is still a problem?
The sidewalk's still the problem.
Okay. Driveway good, sidewalk bad.
Thank you. 18-0826, 160 Dove Circle, Michael R. and Nina M. Martin.
Code sections 2318B, 14.2, 2317, 15.132, and 9.42. Restricted trailer parking, parking on front lawn, parking over sidewalk, miscellaneous items, plywood used as fencing material, dead palm fronds. I observed this violation on 4/24/18, sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 4/25/18. I actually spoke to the owner, actual service on that. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
So, it's actually a loud trailer? Wow.
Would have to
It just
be
keeps getting
screened.
worse.
Yeah.
It just keeps getting worse. Okay,
So in
poor
this
Dove
one,
Circle.
Code section 23-18B, which is a restricted trailer parked on the driveway and the parking on the front lawn, are findings of fact. And then for the
Okay.
remaining code sections, compliance by 7/26 or the 8/8 hearing or $25 a day fine.
726, 88, 25 is granted.
Thank you. 18-0924 is being pulled. 18-1017, 208 Park Road North, IH6 Property, Florida LP.
Code section 2318, restricted trailer parked on the driveway. Observe this violation on 5/22/18. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 5/23/18, and delivered it on 5/30/18. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Like the post office, delivered, left with an individual. Wow, they got pretty pavers and stuff. What's my problem here? Restricted trailer. Oh, too big a trailer, I take it?
But it has to be parked on the side yard.
Oh, okay.
We'd be asking for compliance by 6/28 or the 7/11 hearing or a $50 a day fine.
628, 711, 50 is granted.
Thank you.
All right, now we skip the fine mitts because they all showed up and we're
Right.
doing abatements.
Health Safety, one-time abatement hearing, 18-0932, 142 Meadowlark Drive, Broad Tree Homes, Florida LLC.
I don't know. Someone show up, say something.
Did you send the orders for those?
No,
Oh, okay.
sorry.
So no sense in looking for it.
Oh.
Sorry.
Code section
mind.
1557, health, safety, high grass and weeds. I observed this violation on 5/15/18. Sent out notice of violation, notice of hearing on 5/16/18, and they signed for it on 5/21/18. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
See, I don't think you should ever cut your grass because they always look so good when they're that thick. Okay, you got
Pretty
your
soon
foot
you
long
won't
ruler
see the
there.
house.
Okay, you got a signed green card. What would you like?
We'd be
An
asking
order,
for a one-time
or
abatement.
abatement order.
Yeah, which would include $80 for mowing plus $206 in administrative costs and fine assessment hearing on 7/11.
I'm just gonna write granted because usually I sign these things and just write sign.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't get it.
Granted, granted. Okay,
Sorry.
granted.
Thank you. 18-1124 is being pulled.
That's wonderful.
Now we're at health safety continuing abatement hearings, 18-1122, 119 Belmont Drive, Charles and Melanie Greismer.
The Belmont. Justify.
Code section is 1557, health and safety for high grass and weeds. I observed this violation on 6/7/18, mailed a notice of violation, notice of hearing certified, and posted them on the property. I'd like to enter into evidence, Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Wow, cool. You can see when it's been raining, and it has been raining. Yeah, the neighbors looks a little shaggy too. All right, affidavit of service, you have service.
We'd be asking for an order granting continuing abatement.
I take it they're not hanging around. Okay, granted.
Thank you. Moving next to rescinding orders, case 18-0267, 197 Sandpiper Avenue, Nellie A. Morrow Estate.
Granted.
We're asking for an order rescinding the order assessing fine.
You get it, you got it.
Thank you.
Granted.
Thank you.
Made it easy. Anything further before Magistrate?
No, sir.
Minutes were signed. 8:15. We are adjourned.